It is the start of the Trinity League here in the CIF regular season. Chris Sylvester and Adam Ferrister have the call from Saddleback College as the Santa Margarita Eagles take on the #1 team in the state of California, the St. John Bosco Braves. You are listening to National Sports Radio Station from Spreaker.com. Now to your hosts, Chris Sylvester and Adam Ferrister for the call.
Live from Saddleback College, Trinity League play opens with a bang as the defending league champion St. John Bosco Braves visit the Santa Margarita Eagles. A hello and pleasant Friday evening to all. My name's Chris Sylvester alongside Adam Ferrister. Not only does tonight's game feature two of the best teams in the state, but the best quarterbacks are here as well. For Bosco, Josh Rosen in his second year being the starter has been magnificent for the Braves. But how can he keep it up tonight against the pesky Margarita defense?
Rosen will have to stay calm, and he'll have to step up and become a leader if the Braves want to keep this undefeated season. Last week, Josh Rosen threw 12 of 21 passes for 223 yards, which included 5 touchdowns. Rosen does have a shoulder injury, so we'll be looking to see if he favors that right shoulder whatsoever. But I think he will be confident and comfortable in the pocket and be able to deliver nice passes for the Braves.
And leading the way for Santa Margarita is a sophomore stud by the name of KJ Costello. Can he continue to impress tonight against possibly the best defense in all of high school football that Bosco possesses?
I think Costello does have the ability to upset the Braves' near-perfect defense. Last week, against Tribuco Hills, Costello went 19 of 25 for 268 with 2 touchdown passes. And in week 2 against Bishop Gorman, Costello set the school record for most passing yards in a single game with 443. Costello is more of a pro-style quarterback, which means you will not be seeing the same scrambling that the Braves saw when they played Crenshaw and Chandler. The biggest thing for Costello will be decision-making. He's thrown 10 picks in the last 5 games, which is 2 more than Rosen threw all of last year. So it'll be interesting to see if he will be able to stay calm when the Braves bring the tremendous pressure that they always bring against teams.
Should be a good one tonight as Bosco and Santa Margarita battle it out here at Saddleback College. It's the Trinity League opener. We'll have the kickoff next on the St. John Bosco Football Radio Network.
It is the start of the...
You're listening to the National Sports Station on Spreaker.com, the proud home of St. John Bosco football. Go Braves!
Back here at Saddleback College, we're just about set for kickoff as both teams have now entered the field. As you can hear the roar from across the way, that's the Santa Margarita crowd. Tonight we're broadcasting the game live from the St. John Bosco side because that is where the press box is here at Saddleback College. Real quickly, tonight before we get started with the kickoff, I'd like to dedicate this broadcast to my late grandfather, William Elbich, as he passed on a couple of weeks ago. At a great ceremony for him today, and I'm a big sports fan himself. I'm sure he'd love to be listening tonight, but he's got the best seat in the house from upstairs, so I'd just like to dedicate this broadcast tonight to him. Adam, we went over in the intro. Should be a great game to open up Trinity League play, and I'm excited to get it kicked off.
Yeah, I'm excited too, and Margarita on the other side they are fired up. This is their homecoming, and we look across and see just about every seat is full on their side. Their student section is fired up. They are ready to upset these Bosco Braves.
Bosco 5-0 on the season, fresh off of a 75-35 beatdown of the Crenshaw Cougars last week in Bellflower. Santa Margarita, like you mentioned in the opening, coming off a win at Tribuco Hills 28-26. Margarita 3-2 on the season, but don't let that record fool you. They've lost to some pretty good opponents in Bishop Amat and Bishop Gorman.
Yes, they have. Those are 2 of the most respectable teams in the nation, and they fought very hard against those 2 teams. It's very respectable losses, so the Braves should not look at that record and say, oh, 2 losses, or fans at home should not look at that record and say, oh, 2 losses, they don't have the ability to beat them. Bosco.
Well, it's always a good matchup between St. John Bosco and Santa Margarita. Last year, Bosco blowing out Margarita in Bellflower, but the year before, Bosco came down to Saddleback. Last time they were here against the Eagles, lost a tough one in the rain, 28-20. Not sure if you remember that one, but that was back when Johnny Stanton was at the helm for Santa Margarita. He's off doing big things at the University of Nebraska. That was the year Santa Margarita won the state championship. So just getting set for kickoff here as both teams are ready to come out onto the field. It is a nationally televised game, so that's why we do have the delay here to start. We will have multiple delays like this here throughout the night in between series. But that's just how it goes sometimes with these nationally televised games, right?
Yeah, it is. They gotta make the money for the television and get those commercials in. So we will have more breaks than we usually do, and this game should be a little longer than a normal high school football game usually is.
Well, Santa Margarita won the toss as St. John Bosco will be kicking away here to start the game, and we'll be receiving in the second half. Reed Budrovich, we've raved about this kid all year, and if you haven't been able to see him so far, you might want to flip on your television and see this kid's kicking abilities. Most of these go back into the end zone for touchbacks.
Most of them, almost all of them go in for touchbacks, and some of them go through the goalposts when he kicks them too.
So we're just about set for kickoff here as Budrovich and the Bosco special teams align. One thing you will notice tonight, a lot of transfers becoming eligible for the Braves after sitting out the first 5 games. Additions are only going to help St. John Bosco here tonight.
Definitely, that means that the Braves will be more rested because they can switch out more players, which is a very, very good thing.
Well, we're going to have the kickoff sail and be caught at the 2, but whistles blow, and I don't know what this is about here to start the game. It looks like Bosco is going to re-kick. The only problem I have with nationally televised games is this is the reason for the kickoff being brought back and having a re-kick. It's kind of ridiculous.
You can see the guy with the red hat on the field putting his hands up, which signifies that there's a commercial. So if we see that guy on the field, it means we're going to have to be on a little bit of a break.
Yeah, lots of commercials coming your way tonight. Doing the broadcast like we have all year, national sports on Spreaker.com, as the infamous man with the red hat leaves the field of play, and it appears that now we're finally ready for kickoff here from Saddleback College. Saddleback College, home of the Saddleback Gauchos, the junior college team, as well as the Santa Margarita Eagles and J. Sarah Lions. We will be back here later this season when Bosco takes on J. Sarah. Here we are. Budrovich aligns the kick, and the kick is away, and we are underway from Saddleback College. This one's going to sail into the end zone, and well, our prediction was right. It was a touchback once again off the leg of Budrovich, and out comes KJ Costello and the Margarita offense.
KJ Costello is a very, very big kid. He's 6'4", 200 plus pounds, and he can definitely make an impact in this game. It'll be very interesting to see how his composure is when he's in the pocket with the Braves' notorious defensive line getting pressure.
Well, Costello in his first year as a starter, he's only a sophomore. Bright future ahead of him as the opening run is going to go to number 6, Jeremy McNichols, the Utah Utes commit, and he'll get himself about 4 yards out to the 24-yard line. Nice little pickup there. Usually Bosco doesn't allow those runs up the middle to go for much, but Santa Margarita getting a healthy gain here on first down, 2nd and 5. Under center comes Costello. He's back to pass. He throws, and it's deflected at the line. That's Malik Dorton, the USC commit, on the deflection, and quickly here for Santa Margarita, they face a 3rd down.
Yes, I wouldn't say crucial, but it's very big that the Eagles are able to convert on this 3rd down. It would give them momentum for the game, which the Braves are very good at taking momentum back.
Well, 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Ball's at the 25 on a 3rd and 5. It's a quick pass and it's incomplete. Intended for number 2, Jonathan Labonte, the wide receiver. Quick pass that time from Costello. I don't even think Labonte saw that pass. It went straight through his hands. And 3 and out forced by the St. John Bosco defense with 11:27 here left to go in the first quarter.
Great job by the Bosco defense. Credit them. Very good job by Malik Dorton on 2nd down, getting that hand in there that caused that 3rd down.
Well, back to punt is number 5, Kyle Sweet, and it's going to be returned on a hop by Jaleel Wadood, and he's taken down at the 34-yard line, so that's where Josh Rosen and the Bosco offense will take over. Kyle Sweet, of course, the star wide receiver for Santa Margarita. We did not see him targeted on that first possession for the Eagles, but I'm sure we will multiple times here tonight.
Kyle Sweet is the leading receiver in the Trinity League, has more yards than Shea Fields for Bosco does, which is very, very impressive, seeing the talent Shea Fields has.
Well, it's 3 receivers to the right, none to the left, and they'll go with the opening handoff to Sean McGrew. Sean McGrew, a huge hole. He's up the sideline. He's got 1 man to beat. Sean McGrew's into the end zone for a touchdown, Bosco. On the very first offensive play, it was just a handoff up the middle to the sophomore running back. He saw the seam, got to the outside, and here we are with 11:07 to go in the first quarter. It's Bosco 6, Santa Margarita nothing.
Taking it, if we were looking at it, what caused so much misdirection is the Braves had trips right, which they usually run a screen off of, and they had a shift on that side. So the Margarita defense was looking to that right side, and McGrew was able to get the seam, run down the left side, and no one was even near them to catch it.
Well, the sophomore running back shines again as Budrovic's kick is up and good. So it's 7-0 St. John Bosco with 11:07 here left to go in the first quarter. Sean McGrew that time, a 66-yard run to the house to start the game, and want to make a homecoming crowd quiet quickly, that's how you do it.
Yes, definitely, and Sean McGrew is something special. A sophomore with that type of speed, that type of awareness, it's very, very impressive to see someone that young with that much speed and that much awareness when he plays.
A very talented running back indeed, and he shines on the national stage here. So Bosco 7-0 over Santa Margarita, 11:07, not even a minute into the first quarter. The explosive offense of St. John Bosco not looking like they're going to be slowed down tonight by this pesky Margarita defense.
No, I don't think they will, and that shows right there the trips and that smoke screen that the Braves run all the time. That shows Margarita really, really respects that screen because it's caused so much damage to every other team that they've played. And the Braves are using that misdirection to get a hole for Sean McGrew. And when Sean McGrew is in space, he accelerates faster than just about anyone on this field.
And it's crazy. I mean, we bring it up all the time. He's only a sophomore, so he's only going to get better in his next 2 years here at St. John Bosco.
Definitely, he's only going to get better. That's said it perfect right there.
My oh my, Sean McGrew gets the Bosco sideline up early. 7-0 Braves here with 11:07 to go in the first quarter. We got our friend for the night, the infamous man in the red hat, on the field, located at the 20. It's a commercial break, like we said, nationally televised game. As Bosco, Reed Budrovich just seemed like 5 seconds ago he was kicking off, and here he is back on the field again after Bosco one play, 66 yards to the house on that McGrew run.
You should get it right. It's been 53 seconds since he was last on.
It seems like 5 seconds.
Yes,
it seems like 5
It
seconds.
definitely has. Great job by the Braves on both sides of the ball. Margarita needs to come back and get some points right now.
Absolutely. Talk about a momentum shift. I'm sure, the home team's always got to have a little bit of momentum coming out of the gate, especially with the big crowd that Santa Margarita brought down tonight. But my oh my, what a way to shift it right away. The sophomore running back, Sean McGrew, one run, one cut, and he was gone. So our infamous red hat man friend is off the field, and that means it's time for Reed Budrovich to kick off for the second time tonight. First one went back into the end zone for a touchback. Back to receive is Grant Clancy and Rick Ellison, and this one once again is going to get into the end zone. So KJ Costello and the Eagle offense will start at their 20 once again. We saw them go 3 and out on the first drive. What would you like to see differently on this drive for Margarita to try to get some points or at least get some momentum going down the field?
They need to go to their key players. I would think they would target Kyle Sweet, which is their star receiver. So I would stop with the passing to the other guys and try to get something started with your main guys.
Well, under center comes Costello, and it's that quick handoff. The ball's fumbled, and it's recovered by Jacob Coyote Mariner. It was just a simple handoff to Jeremy McNichols, the Utah commit. Miscommunication between Costello and McNichols, and Bosco has the ball inside the 20.
Just a mental error on Santa Margarita's part. I don't even know if it was, I couldn't really tell if it was a quarterback or running back fault, but something went wrong on that handoff.
Well, you want to talk about disaster early. We're not even a minute into the action here. 7-0 Bosco leads, and here they are in the red zone looking for yet another score. Rosen comes out of the gun. It's the handoff to McGrew. Why not? McGrew cutting up the middle. McGrew to the outside. McGrew still on his feet. 2 plays from Sean McGrew, both of them touchdowns. The sophomore is ridiculous.
The kid in number 5 is doing something special tonight. Oh my God.
Sean McGrew looked like he was going to be taken down after a gain of 3. Broke a couple of tackles up to the middle. Got to his seam on the outside. He loves that left side of the field. And he went straight into the end zone. 13-0 Bosco. 10:55 left to go in the first quarter. And disaster has struck early here for the Margarita Eagles.
Definitely, and that's missed tackling's what caused that. They had him about with a 2-yard gain, but he was able to bounce outside and get a touchdown.
Well, Reed Butrovich's PAT is up and good, and with 10:55 left to go here in the first quarter, Bosco 14-0. They've ran 2 plays, 2 simple runs out of the gun to the sophomore running back Sean McGrew, and he gets to the house on both of them.
Yeah, those 2 plays aren't even plays that are meant to go to the end zone. Those are just get some yardage so you have a more manageable second down. But McGrew is turning those simple plays into something amazing, and McGrew, as well as he's doing, the credit really goes to that offensive line.
Yeah.
The guys that don't get as much credit, that Damian Mama, Emery Sefo, those guys, they're the big boys blocking up front so that the little Sean McGrew is able to get big yards.
My, oh my, what a start here from Saddleback College. 14-0 Bosco, 10:55 left to go first quarter. And Reed Budrovich already, 3rd time tonight he'll be kicking off.
He might be kicking off a lot tonight.
I mean, if you're Margarita, okay, the first play goes for a touchdown. That's happened before. You can get back on your feet after something like that. But I don't know if you can now. 14-0, a minute and 5 into the game. And, you know, you fumble on your second offensive possession. You go 3 and out on the first one. Like we said, Sean McGrew, 2 carries, 2 touchdowns tonight. I mean, if you're Margarita here, as Reed Budrovich kicks it back into the end zone, touchback once again. What's new? Margarita will start at the 20. Costello, as a sophomore, I know it's a lot on your shoulders. It's your very first Trinity League game as a starting quarterback, but you got to put the team on your back here, and you got to drive down. You got to get 7 right here because St. John Bosco has all the momentum in the world right now.
The thing is, don't quit. You can't quit.
They'll start at the 20 once again. It's a play action. Costello comes out of the gun. He's going to hit McNichols, his running back, and he'll only get about 1. A flag flies in. The referees are using those pink flags. Might be a hold against Margarita here. We'll wait for the call from the official down on the field. Of course, the pink flags for breast cancer awareness, as it's going to be a sideline warning on Bosco, so that's just a warning. There won't be any yardage penalty against the Braves. Next one will be a 15-yarder.
We saw this.
Only a gain of 1 that time on the screen pass to the Utah commit Jeremy McNichols.
We saw this same sort of sideline warning last time, which didn't amount to anything.
Oh, it's a draw this time to McNichols, and he stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Malik Dorton and Jacob Tuioti Mariner, who recovered the fumble earlier on the stop. And here's Margarita being faced with a 3rd and 9 once again.
There is a flag on the field. Number 4, Grant Clancy, was getting in a little pushing match with Nigel Hale, and Nigel Hale is going to get called for the excess unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
Well, that looks to be the call here as they're moving the ball up to the 36, so a 15-yard penalty helps out Santa Margarita here as they'll have the ball at the 36. A much-needed first down for the Eagles.
Yes, much needed. Braves can't get upset by that, but they need to get stopped here.
If you're Bosco, you need to stay disciplined. It's Costello out of the gun. He'll pass it over the middle, and it's caught. Gain of 3 that time to his favorite target, Kyle Sweet. And we targeted him in the opener. He leads all Trinity League receivers in yardage.
Yes, he's their main target, and he needs to have a great game if Santa Margarita has any hope of coming back into this game.
Well, we had another flag on the field. It's really hard to see those with those pink ones. I know the NFL did them last week, but they're not going to do them again this week. Just too much confusion. But sure enough, it's a national TV game here tonight, and a big high school football game, and a flag flew on that one. It's holding against Santa Margarita, so just after you think they had a pretty positive gain on first down, it gets backed up another 10.
Unnecessary holding call. You cannot do that. You got a yards from a penalty, and now you're back yourselves up.
1st and 20 for Margarita. It's going to be a rollout from Costello. He's going to get off the pass before he's hit in the backfield by Dorton. And the pass that time was complete to Jonathan Labonte, but a flag flies in as it appeared St. John Bosco hit him while he was already out of bounds. This will probably be a 15-yarder against the Braves. A lot of penalties here early on.
Getting real physical right now.
Sure enough, it's a late hit out of bounds on Bosco, and this will move it up 15 yards for Margarita and give them a first down. So St. John Bosco originally on this drive had Margarita at a 3rd and 9 and appeared to have him stopped, but a sideline warning along with a personal foul got him the first down. Margarita backed themselves up with the holding call, and then a late hit gives Margarita another 15, and here they are all of a sudden at their own 46. It's going to be a handoff this time to Labonte, and he'll get himself into St. John Bosco territory to the Bosco 46.
Good job right there, getting some yardage, makes it a manageable second down right now.
So quickly moving into the Margarita offense. Under center comes Costello. It's that quick handoff to McNichols, and he's eaten up in the backfield. Ivan Martinez along with Tuioti Mariner and Dorton on the stop. Loss of 1 on the play, and Margarita now faced with a 3rd and 4 from the Bosco 47. Great job swarming to the ball that time by the Bosco D-line.
It's impressive when you see 3 linemen get to the running back at the same time. Ivan got there just a split second earlier, but was surrounded by Tuioti Mariner.
Well, Costello's back to pass, and he was going that time for Labonte, but the pass was broken up. Number 9, Michael Ray, who was just activated recently after missing the first 5 games due to transferring from Cathedral High School. He's supposed to be an immediate impact on the offensive side of the ball. But here he is breaking up a pass on the defensive side and forcing Santa Margarita to punt here. Kyle Sweet in to punt for the second time today.
Great coverage by Ray. It was nice, clean batting the ball down there. Good job and not getting a penalty.
Well, it's a fake here on the punt, and it's Sweet completing it to number 10, Alec McNiff, and Margarita's going to have a first down. Kyle Sweet played a lot of quarterback last year for the Santa Margarita Eagles, but I don't know if St. John Bosco really thought they'd have that in the playbook here. That's a really risky call by Coach Welch. when he comes out on top here as the pass was complete to McNeff. And it's a 1st and 10 for Santa Margarita here at the St. John Bosco 29. Funky fake that time, but it got the Braves off guard.
I like that play. You're down 14 points, about to punt it back to Bosco, and now you get yourself a fresh set of downs.
Well, not sure, more commotion here from the referees. It's been a lot of interesting plays here tonight involving flags with those pink ones. It's really hard to see them down on the field, especially because there's a lot of players, even the referees have the pink towels. Not exactly sure what the deal is here.
1 second on the clock.
But apparently it's something to do with the clock, as they're going to put 1 more second on. To me, that's something that should be done upstairs by an upstairs referee.
Yes, it should.
So after the fake punt does the job for Margarita, they're going to hand off this time to McNichols, and he'll get himself a good gain out to the left. Tackled at the 25-yard line.
Slinky and Highlander on the blocking for the Eagles.
14-0 Braves lead it here from Saddleback College with 8:36 left to go in the first quarter. Bosco's only run 2 offensive plays, 2 rushing touchdowns from Sean McGrew, as McNichols gets the handoff again and gets about 3 before he's met by a plethora of Braves. Short of the first down marker, and a 3rd and about 2 coming up here for the Eagles.
Nice run, though. You've seen all 5 previous teams haven't been able to do anything with the run, and now you're seeing Santa Margarita getting not a lot, but a little bit done with the run. It's nice to see them try to develop that early on in the game.
Let's see what Coach Welsh has cooking up here on a 3rd and short. Sure enough, it's going to be a handoff, but stopped right at the line by that big D line of St. John Bosco is Jeremy McNichols, the senior, and it'll bring up a 4th down for Santa Margarita. Interesting situation here if you're Coach Welsh. Do you go for it?
It looks like they're set up to go for it. Now I don't know the strength of their kicker. It's sort of in that high school no man's land where if you don't have a good kicker, you'll go for it here. And that looks like what they're going to do.
Under center comes Costello. It's going to be a pitch out to McNichols. McNichols trying to get to the outside. He does. He has a 1st down, and he's out of bounds inside the 20. Much needed 1st down that time for Margarita, and that would have been a disastrous turnover on downs.
Good pitch, good run. Just an overall good play to get that 1st down.
Highlander and Preniveau and Couture on the O-line for the Eagles.
So ball's now at the St. John Bosco 19 for the Eagles. Under center comes Costello. Costello will run a play action throw, and it's caught by Labonte before he's cracked by Brett Baldwin, the safety. Only a gain of about 4 that time, and he certainly paid for that hit that time from Baldwin.
Definitely paying for that. That's your quarterback leaving you up there, making you jump for the ball, and that one definitely does not feel good when you come down and get hit like that.
Bosco 14, Santa Margarita nothing, under 7 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Santa Margarita, a 2nd and 7 from the Bosco 15. It's a draw to McNichols. McNichols gets to the outside. McNichols is up the middle, inside the 5, fumbled the football. But the referee said he was down inside the 5, so that's not going to matter.
Following the block by Joe Zipovich, number 56.
But a great run that time on the draw had Bosco's defense completely off guard. And it's going to be a 1st and goal here for Santa Margarita. Ball popped loose, but apparently McNichols' knee touched the ground before it did. Ball's at the 1 after that 14-yard pickup on the draw. Costello sneaking it up the middle. And he did not get in.
Costello on the quarterback sneak up the middle.
I don't know if you want to run that play against the big defensive line that Bosco poses.
I think they got 2 inches on that play. That's about it. It's just a wall. Oh. or
the brick squad is what they like to call them. The defensive line for St. John Bosco.
It definitely looks like a brick wall. Right now it looks like a blue brick wall because the Braves' defensive line is pushing the Margarita defense against their own players.
Bosco wearing all white tonight. The white helmets, white tops. Apparently there was a touchdown on that QB sneak. There was no ruling. I think everybody just found that out. And kicking for Santa Margarita is the senior Yuri, but he missed the PAT, no good. So with 6:27 left to go, it's 14-6 St. John Bosco. I didn't see a ruling that time from the official for a touchdown. I was looking at both officials on both sides of the field. I was looking at the back judge, and I couldn't see a signal for touchdown that time.
I heard the cheer of the crowd, and that's what made me pause there because I didn't know if they had called it a touchdown, which they ended up doing. I don't know exactly when that was called, but a missed extra point by Santa Margarita. While that may not look big right now, in the late stretches of the game, that could turn out to be very big, especially it's only 6-14 right now, but you're down 8 points now instead of 7, which can turn out to be
So 14-6 St. John Bosco leads here with 6:27 left to go in the first. But apparently there was a touchdown and a missed extra point, though, like you were saying, could come back to haunt Margarita later in the game.
Definitely. And I'd like to point out that that drive was continued by penalties, especially a penalty by Nigel Hale, which I know he's trying to get physical in there and get the shoving and pushing, but there's a line. You can get physical when the ball is in play, and you don't need that extracurricular activity outside. You don't need to do that and get penalties for that. You can play hard defense when you need to.
Certainly penalties hurting Bosco on that drive, but a much-needed 6 for Santa Margarita.
Definitely. I've said it before, and I truly feel the only team that can beat Bosco is Bosco, meaning if they get penalties over and over again, they are going to shoot themselves in the foot and make themselves lose.
Number 1, Fields, and number 2.
Certainly looks like, and that's what happened last year against Pollard. They beat themselves. That was their only loss of the season.
Definitely.
Number 31 for the Eagles.
Well, our
yeah, that's on the reel.
So for the first time tonight, Santa Margarita will be kicking off. Number 31. Alex Yuri, the senior kicker, kicks it into the end zone, so looks like he has a strong leg as well, and that's where Bosco and Josh Rosen will take over on their own 20 after the touchback from Yuri.
It'll be interesting to see how Josh Rosen will respond to the touchdown by Costello. Josh Rosen is a very composed quarterback, and got to give him a lot of credit. Probably, well, I would have to say best quarterback in California and arguably the nation. He needs to lead this team right now.
Well, out of the gun comes Rosen. It's a play action. They'll hit Shea Fields, but he dropped it. In and out of the hands that time of the Boise State commit. Great coverage, though, that time by the Santa Margarita secondary, breaking up the pass.
A little bit of fault on both of them. Rosen needs to bring that ball just a tad bit, but Shea needs to get both hands on that ball and come down with it. He is good enough to do that.
5 receivers set, 3 to the right, 2 to the left. Rosen's out of the gun. Rosen's going to take it himself, and he gets himself about 5 out to the 25, and here's St. John Bosco facing a 3rd and 5 here. It would be a huge stop if Santa Margarita can get it.
Yes, it will be a very big stop, and I think everyone in the crowd knows that they need this stop too.
I don't know if that was a design QB draw, but it was a 5-receiver set. A lot of times you'll see QBs run on those 5-receiver sets. This time they'll hand off to Sean McGrew, and there goes the sophomore again. First down, St. John Bosco. He'll get to the 39, and he is just absolutely gashing his way through that Margarita defense so far here tonight.
I'd say just put it on the ground more and pound it. You have 2 running backs that you can switch in and out of there, Sean McGrew and Anesi, and I think they should just run it.
Well, this time it's going to be Rosen on the fake to McGrew. He'll hit Khalil Wadood on the outside. Wadood has room. He's into Santa Margarita territory, and he's pushed out at the 35. Big gain that time on the bubble screen. Not really the bubble screen that we're accustomed to seeing. It looked like Rosen was going to keep it himself. Saw a defender in his face, dumped it off to Wadood, and he got a good chunk of yards, and now all of a sudden Bosco's in Margarita territory after 35. Pistol set as they'll run that bubble screen again, this time to Sheffield. Sheffield gets inside the 30, and he's pushed out at the 20-yard line. 1st and 10, St. John Bosco.
They just ran their trips left screen once again. No one's really been able to stop that. Talking to the players, they truly feel like they have the best screen and that no one can stop it.
Bosco now with the ball at the 20. They'll hand off to McGrew. McGrew finds a seam, and he's cut up at the 14. Gain of 6 that time from the sophomore. 14-6, Bosco leads. 5:10 here left to go in the first quarter from Saddleback College. Chris Sylvester alongside Adam Ferrister here on the St. John Bosco Football Broadcast Network. You can follow us on Twitter at SJB Broadcast. 2nd and 4 here for Bosco in the red zone once again. Rosen a play action, finds Fields, a nice leaping catch that time. And he appears like he will have the first down as he caught it at the 9, and the first down marker is at the 10. It'll be close, and sure enough it will be a first down, and that'll bring up a 1st and goal for St. John Bosco. Shea Fields, the Boise State commit, but got offered by USC this week.
Yes, he did, and he's looking at them very strongly.
Run up the middle, Sean McGrew is upended at the 6, gain of 3 that time. Of course, SC, a coaching change, Lane Kiffin out, Ed Orgeron in, got himself his first victory last night against the Arizona Wildcats.
Yes, and Shea's also talking to Cal and UCLA. They're both looking to give him offers.
Well, they're finally starting to see the talent as Rosen's going to keep it on the play action. Rosen dives, and he's in. Touchdown Braves!
Not something you usually see from Josh Rosen a run, but he was able to get in. It looked like they were expecting the hard pound back to Nessie to do it. And once again, another sort of fake. We saw it on the first play where they gave it to McGrew instead of doing a smoke, and now they faked the run to Nessie, and Josh Rosen's able to run it in.
Well, that's Rosen's 3rd rushing touchdown of the season, and it's really been the same play on all of them. He's had his running back to the right, keep it to the left after the play action. And it's just such a great play drawn up by Chad Johnson, and it's fooled everybody that they've run it against this year. As Budgevich's kick is up and good. So with 4:27 here left to go in the first quarter, St. John Bosco 21, Santa Margarita 6. Striking early, Braves 3 offensive possessions, 3 touchdowns. Trinity League play has not faced them one bit.
No, and I would like to comment on the ability that the Braves move. They move down the field with ease. The difference here was Margarita was having to fight for their yardage. And while you can think of it like, oh, same amount of points, the difference is second half and fourth quarter. Margarita, I can tell you, they'll get fatigued and tired of having to pound for every single yard while the Braves offense just able to easily move it.
Well, this Braves team, and it's no secret, is built for a CIF and state championship run. And I think that's the idea around the Braves team. And it really has been since they lost to Long Beach Poly in the semifinals last season.
Definitely, if you ask any of these Braves, they will tell you that their sights are focused on CIF and state.
will tip off.
21-6. St. John Bosco out to a big lead here early. Still 4:27 left to go in the first. Budrovich will be kicking off for the 4th time already here tonight. And it's a line drive kick that bounces at the 12, and it's picked up by Ellison at the 4, and Ellison has a seam to the outside and is tripped up at the 29. Decent return that time, and that's where KJ Costello and the Margarita offense will take over, fresh off of a touchdown drive. But really, to finish off that drive, the missed PAT, bad news.
Good news, but that wasn't a Costello fault, so he does have the confidence right now, and that's what a young quarterback, that's the thing that they need most, is confidence. That's what you see with younger quarterbacks. They get phased in there early, but if they can get in a rhythm, they're very, very good.
Especially a kid like Costello, who's really just burst onto the scene this year, but I'm sure you'll be hearing a lot about him in the next 2 seasons, as it's going to be a play action. Costello's looking to go for Kyle Sweet, and he hit him all the way to the St. John Bosco 45. What a throw that time from the sophomore Costello to the best receiver in the Trinity League.
Yes, and I talked about it earlier how Costello needs to stay calm because the Braves will be bringing pressure. He did get knocked down on that play, but he was able to deliver a nice pass, which I find very impressive.
Cool and composed that time was the sophomore quarterback as he fumbles the snap, but he falls straight on it. Loss of 3 that time. Would have been the 2nd time Bosco's recovered a fumble. We saw miscommunication earlier between McNichols and Costello. That time, I think Costello just flat out dropped the snap. So it'll bring up a 2nd and 13 here from the Bosco 48. Under center comes Costello. That's how they'll work their offense, does Margarita. Under center most of the night is on the run. Costello completes it to Kyle Sweet, and he's hit hard by Jaleel Wadood. But a flag flies in late, and that might be a unnecessary roughness penalty against the Cal commit that time. It was a huge hit, but it looked very clean, like a good, hard football play to me.
Yeah, it's helmet-to-helmet contact, which the receiver looked like he dipped his head. Those are the kind of calls that defensive players hate because it's so hard to. I understand what they're doing. They're trying to protect the receivers, and it is good, but it's hard for a defender when he's running full speed to figure out whether he's going to go up top or try to go for a tackle down low.
So that'll give Margarita 15 yards. Here they are at the 26, 1st and 10. McNichols on the handoff. McNichols breaks the original tackle, then is spun out for a gain of 2. So once again, just like the last drive, defensive personal fouls on St. John Bosco hurting them and giving Margarita unnecessary yardage.
Yes, and not just unnecessary yardage, unnecessary continuations of drives.
Under 3 minutes here left to go. First quarter action. 21-6 Bosco leads from Saddleback. Trinity League opener. Bosco Santa Margarita as the screen pass out to Kyle Sweet. He'll be taken down at the 20-yard line, and he'll be about 3 yards short of the first down marker, so a 3rd and 3 upcoming here for the Eagles. You can see the last 2 drives, Costello getting his junior receiver Sweet much more involved, and it's led to good things for Santa Margarita's offense. 3rd and 3 from the 20. Under center comes Costello. Quick pass over the middle, and it's complete to Jonathan Labonte. 1st and 10, Santa Margarita. Pass goes all the way down to the 6, so it'll be a 1st and goal for Santa Margarita as they're knocking on the door here once again. And here they are needing 6 once again, and it looks like they might get it. Ball's at the 7-yard line. The handoff will go to McNichols. McNichols breaking tackles, getting up the middle, still on his feet, inside the 5, taken down at the 2. Good gain that time by the Utah commit. And with under 2 minutes here left to go now in the first quarter, Bosco 21-6 advantage. Margarita knocking on the door.
This is the first team we've really seen put pressure on this defense.
Well, Costello will sneak it. That's how he got in the first time. This time, it is a touchdown for Santa Margarita. KJ Costello, the sophomore, sneaks it in for the 2nd time tonight. And Margarita responds once again with 1:32 left to go here in the first quarter. It's Bosco 21, Margarita 12.
Looks like they're going for 2 to try to make this an even 14-21 game. Or even out the scores that would equal 7, not even the game.
For the PAT, 2-point conversion.
Well, it's a 2-point conversion here for Santa Margarita. It's going to be a pitch to McNichols. McNichols is eaten up in the backfield. My oh my, Malik Dorton laid on a huge hit that time to McNichols. And the 2-point conversion is no good. 21-13, excuse me, 21-12. St. John Bosco leads. I would have liked to see Margarita just go for 1 there, because now all of a sudden it's a 2-possession game. If you knock in a PAT there, it's 21-13. You can just go for 2 next time to try to tie it up if you do stop Bosco and go down and score again.
Yeah, I can definitely see what he's trying to do, get momentum and make it 14-21, but the cardinal rule is you go for points in the first half. You go for as many points as you can. Take the field goals, and that's generally the cardinal rule.
So with specialty pizza. Tam's Pizzeria, we have it all. Our proud sponsor, Braves #1, will get you $2 off any specialty pizza at Tam's Pizzeria. Located on Bellflower and Rosecrans, walking distance from the St. John Bosco campus, as Yuri's kick is going to sail into the end zone. He's got a pretty good leg too, probably the best we've seen outside of Reed Budrovich's, and Bosco and Rosen will take over at the 20 for the 2nd consecutive drive. Bosco 3 offensive possessions, 3 scores. 21-12 they lead. Two McGrew runs and a keeper from Rosen on the scoring so far here from Bosco tonight. Santa Margarita's gotten 2 touchdowns themselves, both little sneaks from KJ Costello, as Rosen will hand off on the delay. Sean McGrew up the gut, and he'll get himself 8 on first down.
Brought down by McGill, number 40 for the Eagles, along with Higgins, number 9.
2nd and 2 upcoming, but a flag on the play, and it looks like this will go against St. John Bosco. So hard to tell with those pink ones.
Yeah, it is. I just saw the referee make a motion, but I wasn't able to see the flag. But it looks like this will be on the Braves.
That's the call. Sure enough, it's going to be a holding against St. John Bosco. A rare mistake from the veteran offensive line. This will back them up to the 15-yard line.
Yes, you usually don't see these type of holding calls from this veteran line, as you mentioned.
First and 15. Rosen's back to pass. Rosen has Shea Fields wide open. Fields shaking and baking, breaking tackles, and he's taken down at the 23. You can see why so many Division I colleges are after this kid. Just not even, it's not just because of his ability to get wide open, it's just his yards after the catch.
Yes, most definitely is.
Under a minute to go, 21-12. Bosco leading Santa Margarita here at Saddleback College. McGrew is given the handoff up the middle, and it's only going to go for a gain of 2 that time, so a 3rd and short upcoming for the Bosco offense.
Going back to Fields, though, the thing that makes him so versatile is that he can create his own space. You give him the ball, and he's able to shake and bake, create his own space, and get into the open field.
3rd and 2 here for Bosco. Rosen will hand off to McGrew. McGrew runs into the line, and I don't know if he got it. It's going to be very close. The first down marker's at the 30, and it looks like the referees are spotting the ball at the 29 and a half. We might get a measurement here. Awfully close.
Legal procedure?
Apparently a flag on St. John Bosco. I'm telling you, it's great to support breast cancer awareness, but those pink flags are killer for us up here.
Yeah, I'd prefer to see the pink towels that they wear and yellow flags. But
so apparently this is a legal procedure penalty against St. John Bosco. McGrew would have been about half a yard short. Now we'll get the call from the official. So it is an illegal procedure against St. John Bosco. And it'll back them up and make this a 3rd and 10 instead. Weird penalties tonight from the officials. Rosen out of the gun, has time. Rosen steps up. Rosen's going to tuck it and run. Rosen gets to the outside and is out of bounds at the 36-yard line. He has a first down. It originally looked like he was going to step out of bounds before the marker, but he decided to keep going and picks up the much-needed first down that time for St. John Bosco.
that's awareness of the chains. He knows it's 3rd down. He knows he needs to continue this drive. So instead of doing what most quarterbacks would do was get away from the hit and go out of bounds, he stayed in bounds, dove down to avoid taking a bigger hit, and was able to get that first down. Very smart play by Rosen to make a play with his feet. We usually don't see it with Rosen, him running, but we've seen it twice tonight, where 3 times actually, where he's made plays with his feet.
Josh Rosen, the pro-style quarterback, not known as a runner, but he's looked good with those legs here tonight as he gained 15 on that play, and sure enough, that play will be the final play of the first quarter here from Saddleback College as St. John Bosco puts together a strong one offensively as it's 21-12, St. John Bosco leading. We'll be right back here from Saddleback College as Bosco takes on Margarita. They lead 21-12. Second quarter action coming up next.
You're listening to the national sports station on Spreaker.com, the proud home of St. John Bosco football. Go Braves!
Second quarter action here from Saddleback College. St. John Bosco holding a 21-12 advantage over the home team, the Santa Margarita Eagles. It is their homecoming here tonight. But Adam, what we saw there in that first quarter was an excellent display of how to run your offense against this Margarita defense put on by St. John Bosco.
Yes, we saw that. It was excellence of the Bosco running against Margarita, but I thought what was more impressive was Margarita's heart. They were down 14-0, where the Braves had run 2 plays for 2 touchdowns. They didn't give up. Costello was able to continue his drive due to some Braves penalties. But, you know, if you get the penalties, keep it going, and they were able to run down, and Costello was able to get into the end zone. I was very impressed with what Costello was able to do. He was able to stay composed when it looked like hope was getting lost for those Braves. I mean, for those Eagles.
So 21-12 here to start the second quarter. St. John Bosco will have the ball at the 35-yard line. Their own 35-yard line. This is really the first time, though. Second time, though, I have to say, because Chandler moved the ball pretty well against St. John Bosco's defense in the first half. Second time this year we've seen an offense really catch St. John Bosco's defense off guard, and that's really what Santa Margarita's done here tonight. They've, on their last 2 offensive possessions, they've ran very professional drives against this Bosco defense.
They have. It's very. This shows how good the Trinity League is if they're able to run like this.
Well, Andrew Katnick is in the game for St. John Bosco, and he'll hand off to Sean McGrew. Gain of 3 that time, and I think it's because Josh Rosen's helmet came off, and when you have a helmet come off at the high school level, at the college level, and I think it's now at the NFL level too, you have to sit out for 1 play. So that's why Andrew Katnick was in on that play, because Josh Rosen on that 15-yard scramble, his helmet came off at the end of the play, and he had to come out for 1 play. So he's back into the game now, and he's back to pass. He's going over the middle for his tight end, Angelo Quintero, and it was a little too hot to handle that time for the senior. And it's incomplete. 3rd and 7 coming up for St. John Bosco.
Good coverage by the Margarita secondary. They were able to sustain the receivers, guard the receivers, and leave no opening for Rosen to throw the ball.
So a 3rd and 7. If you're Santa Margarita, you really need to stop right here. 21-12, St. John Bosco leads. 11:26 left to go. 2nd quarter action from Saddleback College. It's Margarita's homecoming, the Trinity League opener. Rosen's back to pass. Rosen's going down the sidelines, and Khalil Wadud dropped it. He had number 21, Rick Ellison, right in his face. But that's certainly a ball that Wadud should have caught. The Cal commit flat out dropping that pass from Rosen. And that'll bring out Richard Cole to punt for St. John Bosco. Big stop for the Santa Margarita D.
He heard the footsteps and took his eye off the ball. Just a mental mistake, not wanting to get hit. He took his eyes off the ball, looked at the defender, and just flat out dropped it. You got to be willing to take that hit.
Well, back to punt is Cole. We haven't seen him too much this year because it seems like Bosco scores on every offensive possession. Sweet will catch it at the 12. Sweet gets to the outside. Sweet is down the sidelines, and he's taken down at the 25-yard line, but about 4 or 5 flags fly, and I have a feeling there's going to be multiple penalties on this run back by Kyle Sweet.
The first penalty that I think they'll do is probably half the distance to the goal, holding penalty. Looked like it took place on the 20.
And the second one, the referee had to use his second flag. We saw a yellow flag. We saw about 4. Yeah, we saw about 4 pink flags on the field. Then we saw a yellow flag fly in. So this is probably going to be offsetting penalties. As we wait for the call, it's going to be holding on the return team, as well as a block in the back on the return team. So both of them going against Santa Margarita. I thought it was going to be a late hit on St. John Bosco as that play went to the outside and it ended out of bounds, but apparently both penalties are going to go against Santa Margarita, and they will start deep in their own territory. A lot of confusion with those pink flags from these officials here tonight.
Going back to the punt, that's the first time we've seen R.D. Cole in a while, haven't we?
We didn't see him at all last week. Bosco put up 75 points on Crenshaw.
That is a lot of points.
And it's not like Crenshaw's a scrum. I mean, they are a powerhouse in the city section. So still some confusion down on the field where the ball should be marked, and now they'll mark it at the correct spot. It looks like Margarita will have the ball at the 5-yard line here. Maybe even further back than that. Well, they will spot it at the 5. So penalties forcing Margarita to have to go 95 yards for a score here. Can they do it? Certainly, but it's going to be tough against this Bosco D. You just want to get out of the shadows of your own goalposts here.
Yeah.
Under center comes Costello. He's going to go back to pass, has time, and he throws it incomplete. His receiver, number 16, Jeffrey Ambloyan, slipped up that time. He was the intended receiver on the play. But that was close to a safety that time, as he was really pressured from that defensive line of St. John Bosco.
And that's what they're going to be bringing all night. The offensive line's going to have a hard time containing this defensive line. They need to step up right now in order to prevent a safety.
21-12, 11:02 left to go. Second quarter, Bosco leads. Costello's pressured, and Costello is sacked. And we have a safety. Put 2 on the board for St. John Bosco, but a flag comes in late. I don't know if this is going to exactly wipe out the safety. We'll wait for the call. But Ivan Martinez came up that time on the safety, but wipe that out as it appears a penalty against St. John Bosco here.
The signal was a holding on the Braves.
So a major break that time for Santa Margarita. That would have been the safety, 2 points for St. John Bosco, and their offense would have gotten the ball back with pretty good field position. But instead, Santa Margarita finds themselves at the 16-yard line, 1st and 10 Eagles. So a defensive holding costing St. John Bosco here as the Utah commit, Jeremy McNichols, gets the handoff on 1st down and spins his way out for a gain of 4. Hard-fought yards on the ground for McNichols so far here tonight.
McNichols is one of the other stars on this field. He's the 2nd leading rusher in the Trinity League right now.
2nd and 5 under center comes Costello, and it's a screen pass out to Labani, but not before flags fly, and this will be a false start against the Santa Margarita offense, so that'll back them up to the original line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 for the Eagles. 21-12, St. John Bosco leading Santa Margarita, 10:27 to go. Only in the second quarter. Nationally televised game has made this one a little bit slower than usual.
Yeah, it's made it a little bit slower, but this is a good game to have televised right now.
Absolutely. Trinity League opener for both these teams. At the pass is deflected and intercepted. Number 2, Jaleel Wadud, the Cal commit, caught the tip pass by the Bosco defensive line, and they will have the ball inside the 10. After the interception from Jaleel Wadud, the pass was tipped at the line by the Braves defensive line and fell right into the hands of the Cal commit Wadud, and St. John Bosco will be at the Margarita 7-yard line to start this drive and looking to go up by 3 scores after the pick from Jaleel Wadud. Huge interception that time.
Good awareness by Wadud, and what I liked most was he did do his fancy running, but he held the ball high and tight. What I hate most is when you see guys who just get a pick and start breadbasketing it and try dancing around, and they end up fumbling the ball and giving it right back to the offense with a new set of downs afterwards.
Well, Bosco will start at the 7. It's a handoff to Manesi Anesi. He powers his way forward inside the 5, and he's taken down at the 1. Only the second time we've seen Noss carry the ball tonight for the Braves, but this is his area of the field. This is where you use Anesi, the power back. A big luxury for Jason Negro to have a speedy back like Vergrew and a power back like Anesi, as they'll hand it off to him again. He punches his way forward, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Braves!
I love the way Anesi runs. I've said it in just about every game how much I enjoy seeing Anesi run. He's the power back. He's the guy that usually doesn't get these touchdowns. He's the guy that gets you those 2 yards that you need for a first down. When he gets in open space, instead of trying to dance from a defender, he just puts his head down and hits him.
Barrel him over. What a luxury for Jason Negro to have that depth at the running back position.
Definitely, and then you have a third stringer too, Clifford Sims, who we don't see as much, but still is a very good back.
Very good running back. Jason Negro, since getting to Bosco, has built quite the program. Budrovic's extra point is up and good, so with 9:36 here left to go in the second quarter, Bosco 28, Santa Margarita 12. You're listening to the St. John Bosco Radio Network.
You're listening to the national sports station on Spreaker.com, the proud home of St. John Bosco football. Go Braves!
Who is the team to beat in the National Football League as we begin preseason action? NFL insider Robert Dieters is up next on National Sports. The story of the 2013 Major League season has been the resurgence of the Dodgers, led by Yasiel Puig. How realistic of a shot does Los Angeles have at making the World Series? Jason Gerline leads the roundup next on National Sports. Your presentation of National Sports is brought to you by Spreaker.com. Broadcast and listen to news, radio, and music with one low monthly rate. Your show will be right back after this word from your local stations.
Back here at Saddleback College, 9:36 left to go, second quarter. 28-12, St. John Bosco leads Santa Margarita. It's the Eagles' homecoming here today. And St. John Bosco doing all in their power to spoil it as they lead 28-12 here. It's been an exciting affair early. It's been a long one early. We're already playing for about an hour. And we're still got 9:36 left to go in the second quarter. Chris Sylvester alongside Adam Ferrister here on the National Sports Station, affiliate of Spreaker.com, also BoscoFootball.com. Been doing this all year long and continue here in Trinity League play, our first Trinity League play as a broadcast crew, and couldn't ask for a better game to broadcast. Santa Margarita, St. John Bosco, a budding rivalry in the Trinity League.
Definitely, and especially this game, great game to broadcast. It looks like, every time it looks like Bosco's going to take the game away, take all the breath out of Santa Margarita, but they find a way to come down, and Santa Margarita scores and gets points on the boards to keep them in this game.
On national television and on here, national radio, national sports, St. John Bosco putting on quite the show. A couple of turnovers on the defensive side, the fumble recovery in the first quarter from Jacob Tiote Mariner. Then you saw the Cal commit on Margarita's last offensive possession. Jaleel Wadood pick the ball off and take it back to the Margarita section, which set up Nessi's 2-yard touchdown run. And that's where we stand right now. Reed Budrovic getting this set to kick off once again. 28-12, the Braves lead the Eagles. 9:36 left to go. As Budrovic is lining up the kick and getting ready to kick this one away as it sails into the end zone for a touchback. I think Budrovic had the wind on his side that time as that one went farther than any of the ones he had in the first quarter going in the opposite direction.
He's got one heck of a boot now, doesn't he?
Certainly going to be one of those players that moves on to play at the next level. Certainly has the leg strength for it. Might play baseball at the next level as well. He's quite the pitcher.
Got an arm and a leg.
Don't all of us?
Yeah, but he's got a special. He's got two special arms and 2 special legs.
So Costello and the Margarita offense will take over at the 20. It'll be a quick handoff to Jeremy McNichols, and he makes his way to the outside for a gain of 6. A lot of times so far this year we've seen teams try to do that run up the middle against the St. John Bosco defense. Margarita having some success with it here tonight with McNichols. He's finding 5 or 6 yards on each carry.
Yes, it's impressive to see it. McNichols is really doing a great job here with this run.
Well, they'll hand off to McNichols again, and he's met after just a gain of 2 that time. Third down upcoming for the Eagles.
On the option play.
It was more of an option play that time from Costello to McNichols. Costello, like Rosen, not going to really beat you with his legs. More of a pro-style quarterback. Wouldn't be surprised to see him go to the air here on a 3rd and 2. He does. Screen pass out to Sweet. Sweet shaking and baking, but it appears he's a yard short of the first down. 4th down upcoming here. And it'll be an interesting decision for Coach Harry Welsh here. And it appears that he's going to send out the punting unit, not wanting Bosco to potentially take over inside the Margarita 30, already up by 16.
Christian Holland just blew through one of the receivers that were blocking and was able to help bring down that tackle to prevent that first down and force this 4th down punt. I would, though, just make sure and keep aware of the fake.
Now, we saw it earlier. He looked like he was going to fake it there. Instead, Sweet sends up a high spiraling kick that's fair caught at the 30 by Brett Baldwin. And the flag does not fly in as number 3, Ryan Andrew, appeared to tap Baldwin on the hip that time, but apparently not enough contact for the officials to throw a flag that time. And with 7:52 left to go in the second quarter, Rosen and the Bosco offense will take over at the 30.
Rosen, and if I was Bosco right now, I'd try to do some more runs, get this clock down, and try to score and not leave Margarita with too much time to come back. You can't run the whole half down, but I would say take a chunk out of it and run with it because you've done so well running.
28-12, Bosco leads. It's a moving pass, moving screen that time to Jaleel Wadud, and he's eaten up in the backfield. Loss of 1 on the play as forward progress, helping out the Cal commit, not lose too many yards on that one. But a great job by Margarita swarming on the ball right when Wadud caught it.
That's one of my favorite things too about defense is when your defense can swarm. It's very tiring when you have swarming defense, but if you can have a defense that swarms, you will not have people breaking tackles for big yards.
Play action. Rosen steps up in the pocket. He has a wide open Shayfield. Shayfield has a first down. He's into Margarita territory and he's taken down at the 46. Shayfield, I don't know how he gets so wide open on every single pass play intended for him, but he found a way to do it once again right there, and a big gain gets Bosco into Santa Margarita territory, a familiar place for them here tonight.
Shay's running real crisp routes right now, and we'll say after this play, McGrew with a run there, but like I was saying, Shay runs very crisp routes that are able to get him open, and it causes confusion in the secondary. And Shea has the presence of mind once he catches the ball and brings it in. He has the mind to think about getting upfield rather than just getting down with it. He's always looking for that extra sort of cut that'll get him in the get him a touchdown.
It'll be interesting to see if he stays committed to Boise State with all these Pac-12 offers rolling in. As on a 2nd and 8, Sean McGrew will get the handoff and be about a yard short of the first down. So a 3rd and 1 coming up here for the St. John Bosco offense. Approaching 6 minutes here left to go in the second quarter. 28-12, Bosco holds the advantage here over Margarita as McGrew takes the handoff up the middle, and he's got himself enough for the first down. All he needed was 1, and he got 2. So give Bosco a first down here at the 36. Be sure to tune in, and stay tuned, should I say, for the halftime report. Adam and I will have all the scores from the opening night of Trinity League play, as, of course, we got the big one over in Anaheim at Angel Stadium between Mater Dei and Servite, and we got Jay Serra and Orange Lutheran also hooking up tonight, so we'll get those scores to you. Trinity League play, always a fun time of year, always interesting to see what teams have what capabilities, as this time a pass to Angelo Quintero is complete inside the 30, gain of about 7 that time. Always good to get your tight ends involved, and that's Quintero's first catch of the night.
Good, I like seeing him back. He did have that injury against that Poly game. Really hurt him there and put him out for a while. It's good to see him getting back in here and getting touches on the ball and actually making an impact this year.
It's been a big impact. for St. John Bosco at that tight end position after they lost Nick Lehman last year, as Rosen is pressured, but he still completes it to Jaleel Wadood.
Rosen's pass complete to
That was
Wadood
quite a
for
pass
2.
because Bosco snapping from the right hash. He threw it all the way to the Santa Margarita sideline, about, 30 yards away. And Josh Rosen was still able to complete it, but Wadood slipped up about a yard short of the first, and it'll be 3rd and 1 once again here for St. John Bosco, and they bring in that power back Nas to try to get the yardage, as sure enough they'll go with a play action and not go to Nas right as we think he is, and instead it's to Jaleel Wadood. It's that screen pass that's worked all year long. Wadood's all the way to the house for a touchdown, St. John Bosco. We saw them run that screen multiple times in the first 2 weeks against Dominguez and Clovis North. It went away the last 3 weeks, but they bring it back here on the Trinity League opener, and when Jaleel Wadood, the Cal commit, gets out in space, he is unstoppable.
Yes, they are. We were both thinking, I think the same thing that Margarita was thinking when Manesi was just pound the ball straight down. And good call by Chad Johnson to go with that play action, and that screen that has worked all year, they use it once again. And we saw that same screen cause confusion on the first play, in which Margarita thought they were going to the screen, but they went to a run. Really confusing Margarita out here.
The extra point is up and good by Budjovic, and with 5:10 here left to go in the second quarter, Bosco extending their lead, getting a little breathing room here. 35-12, they lead the Eagles. But yeah, like you said, I mean, they had everybody in the stadium, but I think everyone thought on a 3rd and 1, you're going to your power back Nas, who's going to get you that yardage. Instead, they throw the screen pass out to Jaleel Wadood. He makes one cut, and he's into the end zone for a, what was that, a 30-yard touchdown pass?
Yeah, just about 30. They were just at the 30-yard line, and it was very good play. Very, very good play.
That screen pass so effective for St. John Bosco. So with 5:10 left to go here in the second quarter, and Bosco up 35-12, we're going to take a quick break, but when we get back, it'll be Reed Budjovic kicking off once again. Bosco leads 35-12 from Saddleback College. Second quarter action coming at you when we get back.
You're listening to the national sports station on Spreaker.com, the proud home of St. John Bosco football. Go Braves!
Back here at Saddleback College, Chris Sylvester alongside Adam Ferrister, the SJB broadcast team on Spreaker.com, an affiliate of National Sports. 5:10 left to go here. 35-12, Bosco leads. Our statman Burrow will possibly share with us some stats at halftime. That would be very helpful. We're not neighboring with him exactly there in the little booth. We're just outside the booth here. It's like we said, a nationally televised game on Fox Sports 1. Press box space is very limited.
Very, very limited. Press box, I think you might call it an understatement, but
Burrow just came out shaking his head, so either he didn't like the Tam's pizza he had earlier, or he's not giving us stats at halftime.
And I think it's the stats.
That's right. Tonight's broadcast brought to you by Tam's Pizzeria. Say Braves #1 and receive $2 off any specialty pizza. It's really good pizza.
Just ask Burrow. He gets the pizza all the time over there.
Oh, Burrow, the stat man. Great guy to have around. So we have our infamous man with the red hat, our commercial guy for the nationally televised game. He's just came off the field, which means the commercial break is over, and means that Reed Budjovic is getting to set this one into orbit. As Bosco 35-12, 5:10 left to go in the second quarter. Looking ahead to this game, you know, I had Bosco winning it. Obviously, they're the #1 team in the nation, and for a reason. But to be up by this much on the road, still with 5:10 to go in the second quarter, is something that wasn't even in my mind coming into this game.
Yeah, it is an impressive lead, but I would definitely not count Marguerite out of this game.
Never. No. It's Trinity League football. Anything can happen as Budjovic's kick sails into the end zone. And that is where KJ Costello and the Marguerite offense will take over, fresh off of a drive where he was intercepted by Jaleel Wadood. And if you're Margarita here, it's plain and simple. You need to go down and get a touchdown.
Yes, I was just about to comment on that too and say that they need 7 points here.
Or eight if they decide to go for 2.
Or even 3, I'd have to say. Just get something on the board, something to go into halftime and say, oh, get a positive talk on halftime and say, okay, we're not down by too much, but we can get back in this game.
Well, the pitch to the right will go to Jeremy McNichols, and he's gobbled up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time from the Utah Utes commit. 2nd and 10 upcoming for Santa Margarita, and like you said, you go get 3, or you go get 7, or you go get 8, whatever it may be. At least you put up points on the scoreboard, and at least you have something positive to reflect on as far as the second quarter goes.
Yes, because there's so much time still left in this game, a whole half and 4+ minutes too.
Well, under center comes Costello. Costello is sacked. Jacob Tuioti Mariner on the sack. That'll back him up a good 7-8 yards that time. Costello looked like he was going to get that one off, but decided to just tuck it and take the big hit from the senior defensive lineman.
And I honestly don't mind that. I would much rather see him have the presence of mind to take a hit rather than throw something up and get it picked, and Bosco scores before half again.
Well, if they get a stop here on 3rd down, they very well could do that again as Costello's flushed out of the pocket, throws for Jonathan Labonte, but it's incomplete. Great coverage that time from the Arizona commit Nigel Hale. And with 3:45 left to go here in the second quarter, Bosco already up 35-12. The Eagles will be forced to punt once again.
On that play, he did have a receiver open behind him, but that shows that he's still a young quarterback that hasn't fully developed, and he was focusing more on that player running in the flat rather than looking over him and hitting the guy that was wide open.
Well, Sweet's going to be punting from his own end zone here, and it's not a good punt. Brett Baldwin was back to receive. It'll bounce and take a Margarita bounce into Bosco territory. So actually, what looked to not be a very good punt turns out to be a good one because of the bounce that Margarita got, and instead of taking over in Margarita territory, Bosco will take over at their own 40. Lucky bounce that time for the Eagles, certainly one that they needed.
Yes, now Bosco has to drive a little farther in order to get this touchdown.
35-12, 3:32 left to go. Second quarter action from Saddleback College. Chris Sylvester, Adam Ferrister alongside all season long with you here on the SJB Broadcast Network. As St. John Bosco looking very good, very composed here in their Trinity League opener against Margarita tonight. They'll take over at their 40. Rosen will throw over the middle. Had a wide open Angelo Quintero, but he just flat out slipped, and the pass flew over everybody. Incomplete. 2nd and 10. There is an injured Brave out at the offensive line. That is Emery Cepho. Maybe just some cramping. I mean, he does play on both sides of the ball. This is his first year doing that. So Cepho is down and being attended to by the medical staff right now. Looks like just some cramping, hopefully, for the senior defensive and offensive lineman as he's helped off the field by the athletic training staff. It's just been a hard-fought game on both sides of the ball, and when you're playing both sides of the ball and you're that big of a guy, I mean, cramping's gonna happen every once in a while.
Yeah, you just got to get hydrated, stretch out, and come in the next drive, or maybe even sooner, depending on how you're feeling.
It'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Braves.
So 2nd and 10 for St. John Bosco after the incompletion from Rosen. In the backfield this time is Nas, and there will be a pass out to Shea Fields. He'll get himself 5 before stepping out of bounds. And a 3rd and 5 upcoming here for St. John Bosco. That time, once again, Shea Fields is finding a way to get open.
Yes, finding the way, and like I said earlier, he creates his own space. That's what makes him the guy. That's why he gets the scholarships, because he can do that.
5 receivers set, 3 to the left, 2 to the right, over the middle. He finds Shea Fields again. First down Braves into Margarita territory, and Fields is brought down at the 44. I know you've been watching Bosco football for a long time, Adam. Shea Fields' cousin is Bryce Triggs, who was Bosco's one of the best receivers that ever been through Bosco. So we'll continue to talk about this after this play, as it's a handoff to Anesi, and he barrels up the middle for a gain of 7 that time. But like I was saying, and I asked Shea this when we interviewed him after the Dominguez game, how would you compare Bryce Triggs to Shea Fields?
Well, Bryce Triggs they didn't have too many receivers at that time, and he was the go-to guy. Shea, on the other hand, there are so many other guys, but he still gets the passes, as you see right here as Rosen throws a pass to Shea Fields for a first down. But like I was saying, Shea Fields is one of many. The other receiver would be Jaleel Wadou. And it's hard to compare the two, but Shea Fields is something special, just like his cousin that also went here.
Well, Cal is playing at UCLA tomorrow, so I'm sure Shea will be down to see his cousin at the Rose Bowl. As the handoff goes to Nas, and he'll only get about 1. Stopped up at the line and slow to get up. So he'll come off the field for this play. Looks like he might have jammed his shoulder. Hopefully nothing too serious, as Clifford Sims will make his first appearance of the night. Trips left for St. John Bosco. Every time they run a trip, something pretty unique happens. So we'll see what's doing here is they'll shift Sims from right to left of Rosen in the backfield. Under 2 minutes to go, second quarter. They'll hand off to Sims. Sims has a hole, and it's closed up after a gain of 5. Sims, that was his first carry of the night. So under 2 minutes here left to go. 35-12, Bosco leads. They're probably already in Budrovich's field goal range, but I know they'd like to get another TD before the end of the half.
Yes, and going back to the trips sort of style there, I think defenses get scared when you see that, because there's so many big plays, and you see a trips left right here too.
Rosen's out of the gun. Rosen looks to the right. Who else but Shea Fields bringing in the pass, and it'll be interesting to see where they mark the ball. It's very close to the first down marker. And
Ellison on the tackle along with Matt Mark.
It appears that he will be a bit short, or not, as the referees, now they signal first down. So once again, Rosen finding Fields for the first down. 1:05 here left to go. Bosco at the 21, looking to put another ball into the end zone. Rosen comes out of the gun, back to pass, has all the time in the world, pump fakes. Now he finds Jaleel Wadou, but it went through his hands, incomplete. Pass was a little bit high, but if you were going to ask Wadou, should he have come down with that ball, I'm sure he would have said yes.
Very lucky, actually, for Bosco there. That was a tipped ball, and luckily there was no one behind her. This drive could have ended without any points.
On the coverage as well for the Eagles.
35-12, Bosco looking to break this one wide open with the score right here before the half. 50 seconds left in the second quarter, as Rosen's going to take this one himself. A quarterback draw. Rosen is tripped up inside the 10. It's going to be a bit short of the first down, it appears, but it's a very manageable 3rd and short coming up here for St. John Bosco.
For the Eagles, pressure by Wade.
We'll see what Johnson does here if they go with the run, which is...
They're going to run it with Rosen again. Rosen keeps. Rosen dives for the pylon. He's in. Josh Rosen rushes for his second touchdown of the night. And I don't know if anybody expected this. It's a blowout from Saddleback College, 41-12. St. John Bosco leads with 21 seconds here left to go in the first half.
I got a question for you, Chris. Have you ever seen Rosen run the ball as much as he is and do the damage he's doing right now on his feet?
I have not. I mean, maybe it's a national TV thing. He ran for like 90 yards last year against Orange Lutheran when that game was televised. So maybe he wants to show the multiple fans from around the world watching tonight that he isn't just a pocket passer, he has that dual threat capability.
Yeah, he's really showing that in his decision making, it's very good today. There aren't the passes that you see that are questionable. He's being smart with it. You saw a couple plays ago there was a pump fake where he was about to throw the ball, but was smart enough to just keep it himself and run. And he's scored his.
Not only that, but I think it's attributed to the fact that, you know, the first 5 games of the year, the only real scare Bosco had was against Chandler in that Under Armour Classic at Mission Viejo, and I don't really think that Bosco expected that to be a scare, but it ended up being a scare until they had that huge second half to kind of run away from the Wolves. But I think they're exposing more of their playbook here tonight, and they didn't really need to expose some of those plays against non-league opponents, but they're breaking it out when they need to here tonight. And 42-12, they're going to go up at halftime against the Santa Margarita Eagles. And this is not a bad Santa Margarita squad whatsoever. They're making Santa Margarita look like Crenshaw, worse than Crenshaw. Bosco had 38 points last week at the half against Crenshaw, 42 this week on the road against a very polished, very well-coached Santa Margarita squad. 42-12. It's absolutely ridiculous, and I mean, if anyone ever wants to doubt this St. John Bosco team again, after tonight, and who knows what the final score is going to look like, but I mean, let's face it, it's almost a foregone conclusion. You'd think that Bosco is going to get to 60 in a Trinity League game, and that is absolutely insane.
That most definitely is insane. They're close to 60 right now, and like you were saying, they're opening their playbook, and the playbook is meant for league. That's when you open up the playbook. You open up the playbook for league, and you're seeing just the power that Bosco is able to bring, and just the dominance to the Trinity League.
Well, this, like we've been saying all year long, this team is built for a CIF and state run. As speaking of running, Margarita takes over at the 20, and it'll be McNichols rushing out to the right for a gain of 1, and I believe that will be the final play of the first half, and it mercifully comes to an end as what was a ruckus crowd at the beginning of this game is quiet as can be here from Saddleback College, as the clock has no ticks left on the first half, and that means it's halftime, 42-12. St. John Bosco leads Santa Margarita here in the Trinity League opener, and I don't think anybody expected this.
No, I don't think anyone did. I know I did. I expected the Braves to win, but in this fashion at half, I did not expect this one.
When we get back, we'll have the TAMS halftime report for you. Adam and I will have scores from around the Trinity League and CIF Southern section. We'll try to get some stats if Burl decides to be a nice guy. If not, we'll kind of review the first half ourselves and look ahead to the second half. 42-12, St. John Bosco leads on the road against Santa Margarita at the half. Stay with us.
You're listening to the St. John Bosco Football Halftime Report. We'll be right back after this. You're listening to the national sports station on Spreaker.com, the proud home of St. John Bosco football. Go Braves!
Welcome into the TAMS halftime report. My name is Chris Sylvester alongside Adam Ferrister. We've got a lopsided one here at Saddleback College. Unexpectedly, the Braves up 42-12 at the half against the home team, the Santa Margarita Eagles. They make their home here at Saddleback College. So do the J. Sarah Lions, but it is homecoming tonight for Santa Margarita, and certainly I think not only the Santa Margarita fans are shocked, but I think the Bosco fans a little bit shocked as well, because if you remember in years past, Santa Margarita's really dominated St. John Bosco. I mean, Bosco was able to win by a pretty good amount last season, but I mean, to be up 42-12 at the half just in a Trinity League game is quite insane.
Yeah, with any Trinity League team, because there hasn't been a Trinity League team, and there isn't one this year that is bad, or one that is the lower
there's no
tier
weak,
of the
it seems like there's no weak links in the Trinity League.
No, there's no lower tier of the Trinity League. It's all very, very good teams. And it's just very impressive to see Bosco be up by this much. But the thing for Bosco that they need to focus on is penalties. Penalties were the thing that killed them in this last half. They gave up multiple penalties that led to scores. For example, that personal foul by Nigel Hale that kept a drive going that led to the first touchdown run by Costello. That was a big momentum changer, because then Santa Margarita was able to march down on their next drive, and Costello was able to run for another touchdown.
Well, Margaritas, both their scores have come on runs from KJ Costello, just little sneaks when they're at the goal line. And both those occurred in the first quarter. I think Bosco kind of, got together at one point with defensive coordinator Paul Diaz, Pete Diaz, a really popular guy around St. John Bosco High School. But they certainly got it together, did the defense in the second quarter. But my oh my, 42-12 at the half. I mean, Bosco's defense showed up, and the offense has just been on point tonight for the Braves.
They really have. Rosen, I think Rosen's a TV kind of guy. He's ready to play at that next level when he's on television.
And he's only a junior.
And he's only a junior.
You must wait, young buck. You must wait.
He wants that television time right now. You can see he's really stepping it up. Some quarterbacks might get intimidated knowing that their play is being on national television, but Rosen's the exact opposite. He knows that he shines best on television, and that's what he's doing right now.
I think he shines every week, so he shines best on Spreaker, right?
Yes, he most definitely does. So be sure to tune in every
Friday night
to hear this kid.
This kid, we've been following this kid the last 2 years, and it's amazing to see his progression. I mean, he went from a guy in the final game he played freshman year. It was a JV game against Orange Lutheran's JV squad. He threw 6 interceptions. And so, with Renee Medina leaving, Bosco, it's a rebuilding year. I mean, they're going to have to, start this kid. This kid's really going to struggle. But he comes out of the gate, cool and composed kid last year, and he leads St. John Bosco to an undefeated regular season, brings them to the CIF semifinals, works on some things this offseason, and just looks 10 times better than he was last year. And last year, he looked like a premier quarterback as well. I mean, he got the first team All-Trinity League honors at that position.
Yes, and that is very, very impressive to see a sophomore get all Trinity League. That's something we usually don't see. It's very good for him, and it'll be interesting to see how he progresses through this year and next year.
It's gonna be. It's just certainly gonna be fun to watch this guy in the next 2 years, because as good as he is now, he's going to find a way to get better for his senior season.
Yes, he most definitely will get better. I don't know exactly how, because he's looking like he's already one heck of a flawless game.
Absolutely. I mean, it already looks like he's as good as it gets. I mean, we could see, and I'm being legitimately serious, we could see some crazy numbers next year put up by Josh Rosen. I mean, he's not going to have the receiving core that he has this year. But if he has receivers that can get open at least half the time, I mean, you're looking at this kid potentially completing 85 to 90% of his passes next year, which is very scary. I know that's a wide number, and that doesn't happen ever. But if it's ever to happen, it's going to happen next year with Josh Rosen.
And this kid's going to have one heck of a QB rating by the end of this season and next season. He is leading this team. I talked about it in the pregame, how he needs to step up and become a leader and stay composed and deliver the passes that need to be delivered, and that is what he's done today. That is exactly what he's done today.
We certainly, week in and week out, continue to be impressed by the junior quarterback, Josh Rosen. When we get back, we'll have score updates from the Orange Lutheran J. Sarah game, as well as that fun affair, that always yearly fun affair between Servite and Mater Dei at Angel Stadium. We'll get the scores from those games and then come back and look ahead to the second half. You're listening to the St. John Bosco Radio Network on Spreaker.com, an affiliate of National Sports. Bosco 42, Santa Margarita 12 at the half from Saddleback College.
You're listening to the St. John Bosco Football Halftime Report. We'll be right back after this. You're listening to the national sports station on Spreaker.com, the proud home of St. John Bosco football. Go Braves!
Welcome back, fans, to the TAMS Halftime Report. My name is Chris Sylvester alongside Adam Ferrister from Saddleback College. It's Bosco 42-12 leading at the half. As far as other scores, I mean, it is the opening night in Trinity League play. Always kind of feels like Christmas, right?
Yep.
New Year's, Christmas, something like that.
Yeah.
Anyways, Bosco leading here 42-12, like we said, against Santa Margarita. Meanwhile, over at Angel Stadium, they're at the half. Mater Dei 21, Servite 7. The last couple of years, Servite's kind of been down, but it looked really well. It looked like a very, very good team in the preseason slate, but Mater Dei taking no exception to that tonight. 21-7, they lead Servite at the half. Servite fresh off of a loss to De La Salle, 35-14 last week. And as far as the other game goes, J. Sarah visiting Orange Coast College and the Orange Lutheran Lancers. Orange Lutheran's defense pitching a shutout. That game, 5 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Orange Lutheran 22, J. Sarah nothing. So certainly not as lopsided as this game right here, but Orange Lutheran and Mater Dei looking very good in their respective Trinity League openers.
Yeah, they are. They're putting up some pretty big numbers. And Mater Dei's the Trinity League team that fans are circling for their calendar when Bosco and Mater Dei are going to meet up. Those are the two top teams in this Trinity League. Not putting down any of the other teams because they are both, all other Trinity League teams are very, very good, but Bosco and Mater Dei are at a different level. I don't know how else to say it.
I think it's safe to say that Orange Lutheran is good, Servite is good, J. Sarah is good, Santa Margarita is good, but St. John Bosco and Mater Dei are great.
That's the best way to put it. I don't know how to say it any way else. You have to see them play to really get the full understanding of how good they are.
Well, certainly it's gonna be a journey. Certainly gonna be a journey, but I mean, St. John Bosco and Mater Dei in a couple of weeks here is certainly going to be a game that you want to circle on your calendars, because as much as we were saying that Servite and De La Salle game last week was the game of the decade, I think you might want to circle Mater Dei and St. John Bosco from 2013 as possibly the game of the decade.
Most definitely. I'm getting a little too excited for this game. I'm ready for this game to be over and get to that game in a few games.
Well, despite the 30-point lead you have if you're St. John Bosco right now, I mean, it is a home game for Margarita, and you never know what KJ Costello and the Margarita offense could orchestrate here in the second half.
No, and I don't think that Santa Margarita should be counted out of this game. It will take near perfect play from Costello and the rest of the Santa Margarita.
And the defense.
Yes, both offense and defense of Santa Margarita needs to play to near perfection if they have any hope of coming back in this game. I don't know if they have the ability to do it, or I don't think they will do it, but
I'm sure they have the ability to do something along the lines of that, but against this St. John Bosco defense, it just doesn't seem realistic.
It really doesn't. This St. John Bosco team as a whole, we've just been raving about it pretty much all halftime and all year at this point, and it really is something to rave about. Unless you have seen Bosco play football, you really can't.
You really don't know. I mean, we can try to tell you how great they are as much as we can, but you're probably just sitting back if you really haven't seen them play live and just thinking to yourselves, well, I mean, I'm sure they're good, but they're not that good, are they? 42-12 against a Trinity League team at halftime on the road certainly is a statement.
It most definitely is, and like we said before, Santa Margarita is not a bad team. They are not a team that should be.
They are a good football team.
They are not a team that should be beat like this. No one thought that they would be beat this bad. I don't even think the players thought they could be
on either side.
No, I don't think so. I highly doubt that anyone from either team thought it was going to be a 12-42 game at half. It's very impressive to see what both the offense and defense of Bosco has done.
Oh my, 42-12. I mean, every time I say that score, I'm just mind blown because I don't think anybody expected that whatsoever.
They're putting up some of the biggest numbers in high school football. Last week, 75 points. In this week, already 42.
On pace for 84.
Yes.
I don't know if they'll get it, but if they get to 60, which is what, 3 touchdowns?
Yeah.
I mean, that in itself is incredible because you think about what Bosco did in Trinity League play last year. The most they put up in a Trinity League game was 44 points.
They have almost as much as they had done in a whole game in one half. We've said it, I think, too many times in this game, but just the Santa Margarita, this is a a game that is nationally televised, which means that this game was supposed to be one that would most likely...
supposed to be the game of the week.
Yes, one that would come down to the wire, be real close. This one's turned into a 42-12 blowout. This one was supposed to be real close on television.
And I'm sure the people at Fox Sports, and I'm sure, just for TV rating purposes, I'm sure they want this game to be, close, at least at the half. But Bosco is showing absolutely no mercy tonight, and I just love that from a football fan standpoint. I mean, if you're really that much better than the other team, go out on the field and show it.
And Negro is the kind of coach that will
not
show it. Yeah, he will show that he's better. Because a lot of people have questioned Bosco. They've questioned, okay, you've won 5 games, but they weren't. They weren't against real teams. Chandler's a good team, but really, who huge have you guys played? And now looking at Trinity League play, a 42-12 is ridiculous.
42-12 at the half, and I'm sitting here looking at Santa Margarita's schedule. They lost their first game by 10 at Bishop Vermont. Bishop Vermont, very good football team. They lost to high school football powerhouse Bishop Gorman here in overtime. Not a bad loss, but I mean, double overtime. Thank you. But do you remember watching that game at the end? The catch was made by Kyle Sweet in the end zone. He had stepped 3 times, then got the ball knocked loose. The referees, it was a whole debacle that whole week. They came back and apologized to Santa Margarita because that would have been the game-winning touchdown. So really at that point, you should have had a win over Bishop Gorman. Stats say you don't, so you're 0-2. You go blow out Dorsey, you blow out Carson, and you sneak out a close one against Tribuco Hills. So, I mean, coming into this game, there's no reason why Bosco shouldn't have been favored or shouldn't have been the favorite to win the game. But you expected a lot closer of the game, and I don't know how many times we can say this. I mean, I am so surprised, 42-12 at the half on the road. Maybe a final score is likely to look like this at some point, maybe if you're in somewhat of a defensive battle, but Bosco's offense is just making Santa Margarita's defense look like ghosts out there. I mean, they're just running. Their offensive line is so good that they make holes for all their running backs, and their receivers are so good at blocking that on those screen plays, Bosco's picking up 15, 20 yards, and with that no huddle, quick up-tempo offense that Chad Johnson likes to run, I mean, there's no reason why Bosco shouldn't be putting up 42 every half, but I mean, they're high school kids. You wouldn't expect them to be this good, but it's insane, it's crazy, and it's unbelievable how good a high school football team really is. And if you don't have this team as the number one team in the state of California, or at least the number one team in the CIF Southern Section, I don't know what kind of football games you're watching.
Southern Section, that if you don't have them number one in Southern Section, there's a real problem going on there. And because I think just about every poll has St. John Bosco number one in the state. What I think we really should talk about is something that really didn't go too noticed. It was noticed in the first, but is the running backs. Both Manesi Anesi and Sean McGrew. Those two guys combined are powerhouses. Anesi's just the huge power back that'll get you those short yards. And McGrew, we saw, has one-play touchdown capability. We saw it twice.
We saw it twice here tonight, and we've seen it. I mean, we saw the 89-yard run he had against Chandler back in week 3, and we saw him run for 133 yards last week. I mean, you look at Sean McGrew walking down the hallways at school. You look at Sean McGrew just out on the streets. That kid's a running back. That kid's a top Trinity League running back. It's not the first thing that comes to your mind when you see Sean McGrew outside a football uniform, but he puts on the pads, the lights come on, and he is a superstar.
He's a kid that looks forward to game day all the time. He's ready for it. He's a small kid too, but he is just able to bob and weave in there like a boxer, just able to cut back and get into open space, and that's how he runs. He's that quick back that doesn't dance too much, but is able to do that one cut and get into open space.
And in talking to Sean McGrew this week, I think he's a little bit surprised himself at how well he's done this year. I mean, he's a guy that I talked to about. He's a sophomore, but he's tearing it up already. I kind of talked to him about where he thinks he'll be playing at the next level. He said something like Division I AA, maybe the Mountain West Conference. But I mean, if this kid can keep it up for the next 2 years, there's no reason why a BCS scholarship offer won't come his way.
I think he might be playing at that level pretty close to right now, might be getting an offer from that. He's got 2 years, over 2 years left. He's still got his junior and senior and some of his sophomore year left. I expect big things to see from this running back.
Even when the offensive line, even when this veteran offensive line that Bosco poses right now, even when they start to diminish, when they start to graduate, I still feel like this kid, once he sees a seam, once he makes a cut, I mean, that explosion, that burst of speed that he has is just, you don't see many running backs that have that at the high school level.
Yes, and just showing how good the Bosco backs are. In Trinity League, Sean McGrew has the 5th most rushing yards, and right below him is Anesi, who's 6th leading rushing yards. Jeremy McNichols is number 2, right behind Casey Eugene from Jay Serra. But that just shows they have 2 backs up there, which they're splitting time. Whereas you see Santa Margarita has pretty much one back they're going to give it to. Bosco has two that they give it to regularly, which shows just how good they are.
And we're looking at the list here of the top 8 rushers in the Trinity League. I mean, you have Casey Eugenio, number 1 from J. Sarah. I mean, he's quite a player. He lit up Bosco's defense last year.
Sorry.
It's hard. I mean, you haven't heard that name. It's kind of hard to pronounce.
I was looking at it wrong. My bad.
But you have Casey Eugenio, who's something special from J. Sarah, and we're going to see him have his fair share of yards even against this Bosco defense when Bosco takes on J. Sarah here at Saddleback College later this season. We see Jeremy McNichols. I mean, we've seen bursts of his excellence here tonight, but you see there's no 2 running back core that's in the top 8 along with Manesi, and Sean McGrew. I mean, you see Orange Lutheran, who runs the triple offense. Obviously, they're going to have 2 guys in the top 8, but one of them's their fullback and the other one's their quarterback. You see no 2 running back combination like Sean McGrew and Manesi in the Trinity League, yet alone at the high school level. There's not many times where you're going to get 2 backs that are this good, that are this consistent, and that can pick up the yards that they do for you. 2 on one team that you can use pretty much in any situation. What a luxury, and I've said it, I'm a broken record, I'll admit that. I've said it so many times, and I'm sure people are getting tired of hearing me say it, but what depth Bosco has at the running back position, and what a luxury for Jason Negro that is, especially when you get into Trinity League play and when you get into the playoffs.
This is a luxury that college teams, the best college teams, are supposed to have, where they are able to recruit and get great backs, and then having multiple great backs that you can sub in and out is something that makes a very good team great. It takes you to that next step.
And that's another addition that St. John Bosco made this offseason. I mean, last year Darren Walker was the workhorse of this team. They used him pretty much on every running play they had. When Walker didn't have a good game, Bosco didn't have a good game. You have a scenario here where if Sean McGrew doesn't have a good game, you can turn to Clifford Sims, you can turn to Manesi, and they'll pick up the slack for you.
You really can. You have 3 backs that are very, very good, and Clifford Sims is actually ranked 12th on this list in Trinity League 2. 12th. St. John Bosco has people at 5th, 6th, and 12th. And that is something that you usually do not see.
It's crazy, the depth that the St. John Bosco team has, as we are just about ready to kick it off here in the second half. When we get back, third quarter action, second half action from Saddleback College. Bosco leading Santa Margarita 42-12.
You're listening to the St. John Bosco Football Halftime Report. We'll be right back after this. You're listening to the St. John Bosco Football Halftime Report. We'll be right back after this.
Second half from Saddleback College. Chris Sylvester alongside Adam Ferrister. Bosco leads 42-12 as Bosco was the one to kick off to start the game, as they'll receive here in the second half, and it is returned to the 32-yard line by Jaleel Wadud. That time the kicker, Alex Fury, on the kick for Santa Margarita, he slipped as he kicked that football. That's probably why he didn't get that one back into the end zone like he usually does. But with 11:52 left to go, Bosco will have pretty good field position here as they'll start at their 31, already up 42-12. I don't think you'll see Jason Negro take out the starters anytime soon, just because of the fact that you are facing a Trinity League team, and there is a chance that Margarita could get back into this game.
Yeah, this is what you've been preparing all summer for, too.
Well, it's going to be a play-action pass to Jordan Harris, and he'll make the catch at the 43-yard line. That's a gain of 12 and a first down for St. John Bosco. So Rosen comes out firing just like he did in the first half and completes it to the junior receiver.
And going back to this, you practiced months and months in summer for 5 games, so Negro is not going to want to take out the starters soon.
This time it's a screen pass to Jaleel Wadu, and he'll get himself 3. That was the same screen pass that went for a touchdown back in the second quarter, but this time it'll be gobbled up quickly by Santa Margarita, 2nd and 7. 42-12, Bosco leads. Just a minute here into the third quarter as Rosen, another play action, he'll hit Shea Fields, the Boise State commit, and he's into Santa Margarita territory, close to the first down marker.
Good timing route right there from Shea Fields and Josh Rosen. That ball was thrown before Shea was looking back, and that's what was able to make that play successful. That shows good communication between, non-verbal communication between the receiver and the quarterback.
Well, Rosen here, and the Bosco offense faced with a 3rd and 1. You'll never see Bosco come out under center unless they're at the goal line. So here on a 3rd and short, Rosen will keep it. Once again, churning those legs and getting the first down to the 40-yard line. Josh Rosen. I don't know if we can not call him a not running quarterback. I mean, I think he's starting to try to get that dual threat title to his name. He's not the fastest guy in the world, but he's running all over this Santa Margarita defense here tonight. Quick screen pass here after the run, and Shea Fields has room to the outside. Shea Fields down the sidelines. He's tiptoeing. He's still in bounds. No, he's not. He's out. I think everyone here thought that he had himself a touchdown, but apparently he stepped out of bounds inside the 20, but nonetheless a big gain on the screen pass. 1st and 10, St. John Bosco. My oh my, if Shea Fields was able to stay in bounds there, I was about to say, I might sign him up for a ballerina class, because he can certainly tiptoe.
Tightrope walking across that sideline right there. Put him in a circus.
Well, out of the gun comes Bosco, and flags fly. Apparently the clock wasn't reset yet. The referees did not blow the whistle. That's how quick this St. John Bosco offense runs. Too fast for the referees.
Yes, it is. And sometimes too fast for us to get any analysis off, too.
I know. I always say it's... I mean, this Bosco offense is faster than the majority of NFL offenses.
Yeah.
As Sean McGrew's going to get the carry and spins his way inside the 15 for a gain of 4.
Brought down by Prentibo.
They run the no huddle style sort of offense too, which allows them to have a quick pace offense.
Very reminiscent to the offense that the Oregon Ducks run.
Yes, very.
Rosen comes out of the gun. He'll hand off to McGrew. McGrew, a big hole up the middle, and he's tackled down at the 4-yard line. That'll be enough for the first down. And I mean, it's too easy. It really is for Bosco's offense. They're already up 42-12 on the road here against Santa Margarita. Still 10-14 left to go in the third quarter. And here's Rosen getting to the outside. Rosen into the end zone for his 3rd touchdown of the game. It's too easy. Josh Rosen, not known as a runner, but he has 3 rushing touchdowns to his name here tonight. And Bosco extends its lead. It's 48-12, 10:08 to go in the third quarter.
I have never seen Josh Rosen run the ball like he is running right now. He is running smart too. When he runs, he's not taking the hits, but he's also getting yardage too. He's getting down at smart times and not taking those big hits that can re-injure his shoulder.
The kick is up and good from Reed Budrovich, and with 10:08 left to go in the third quarter. Santa Margarita Eagle fans already hitting the exits. My, oh my, St. John Bosco just putting on an absolute show on national TV here tonight.
As we look across the stadium, we can see that the stands are getting a little more empty. Still a lot of people showing the support for the homecoming game, but people are trickling out at this point, and you know, you pretty much have seen all you need to see from Bosco at this point.
My oh my. I've really never seen a high school team this good.
Looking down at the field, you can see Emery Cepho is not playing. He has his shoe off, looks braced up, and it'll be interesting to see what this injury exactly is. He's not playing, has his shorts on, no pads, so...
Well, he's obviously not going to play for the remainder of this game, but you take into account that it was a 30-point game at the half. You don't exactly need Emery Cepho to close out this game. I think with the amazing medical staff that St. John Bosco has, and it really doesn't look like the injury is too severe, maybe just twisted an ankle or something, I think he'll be ready for Orange Lutheran in a week from now.
I do. It was very interesting to see him down there. We'll have to, looks like he twisted a left ankle, he's got a sandal on there instead of his cleat. But we'll have to get some information on that injury, but I don't think it'll prevent him from playing whatsoever.
Let's certainly hope not. He is a big part of both sides of the ball for St. John Bosco. Plays a heck of an offensive line and is quite the defensive lineman as well. So 10:08 here left to go in the third quarter. Bosco 49, Santa Margarita 12. Just unexpected. Huge lead for the Braves as they're out on the field. Reed Budrovich getting set to kick off. Poor Budrovich, his legs probably really sore every Saturday morning from having to kick off so much.
And there's 10 minutes and 8 seconds left in the third quarter, and it is 12-49. That is a huge lead from Bosco there. It's one I don't think we've seen. Not in Trinity League play. I don't know when the last time the team was blown out this bad.
There's Budrovich kicking away, and it's a line drive kick that'll bounce at the 15, and it's picked up by Ellison. Ellison getting to the outside. Ellison making a cut, and he's upended at the 30-yard line by multiple Braves, and that's where Santa Margarita's offense will take over.
Kickoff return by Ellison.
Was number 25, Matthew Mark, and he'll be tripped up after a gain of 3. Third down upcoming for Santa Margarita.
You know, used to saying big third down for Santa Margarita when you're playing against the Braves, but you know, this is a building third down. It's not too much of a big play, but it'd be nice to see for Santa Margarita fans to see him able to do something.
Well, Mark breaks the tackle, and Mark is into the open. Mark into St. John Bosco territory and is taken down at the 39. Haven't seen Matthew Mark run too much tonight, but on the first 2 carries of the night for Mark here in the third quarter, looks like a good explosive running back.
Looks very good. You should be able to utilize
Costello is intercepted. Mr. Game Face himself, Chandler Hawkins, the Air Force commit, intercepts the pass and returns it to the 17-yard line of St. John Bosco.
Chandler Hawkins right there.
Mr. Game Face.
Game Face for sure. Hey Chris, why do you call Chandler Hawkins Mr. Game Face?
He's always got that game face on, whether he's on the field, in practice, in the classroom, walking around at lunchtime. Chandler Hawkins always has that game face on.
Always looks like he's ready to, always looks like it's Friday and wants to getting ready in the mood for playing a game. So
you look at Chandler Hawkins' normal schedule for the week. Tomorrow's Friday, the day after's Friday, the day after's Friday, the day after's Friday, and the day after's Friday. Meanwhile, Josh Rosen, pump faking Josh Rosen, a line shot pass for a first down to Jaleel Wadoud, and he's upended at the 36. First and 10, St. John Bosco. Rosen's a gunslinger.
He's been throwing some fastballs there. He's having some impressive throws.
This time Rosen's going to be spun out of the pocket and find a way to get positive yardage out of this. Rosen really doing a great job at running the football here tonight as he picked up about 5 on that play.
And McGill, 2nd down and 5 for the Braves.
2nd and 5 for St. John Bosco here. Up 49-12, having the ball back after Mr. Game Face himself, Chandler Hawkins, the Air Force commit with a big interception as number 9, Grady Higgins, gets Sean McGrew at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and a 3rd and 5 upcoming for the Bosco offense.
Grady Higgins on the tackle.
3rd and 5. Ball's at the 41. Rosen comes out of the gun. 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Rosen has all the time in the world. Fires, and it's complete. Number 87, Jared Harrell on the reception. So Jason Negro emptying out his sidelines just a bit, getting some guys who don't usually see playing time as Harrell with his first reception of the season. And it's a 1st and 10 for St. John Bosco. But Santa Margarita has an eagle down on the field right now. And this is not good, as he is being attended to not only by Margarita's staff, but Bosco's staff as well.
Right after that tackle, he fell right to the ground and looked to be in some pain. Let's hope it's not serious for this kid. Looks to be getting up now and leaving on his own will, so...
That's number 21, Rick Ellison, the defensive back, wide receiver. He also has been returning kicks tonight for Santa Margarita. Good to see him walk off on his own power here. Possibly just got the wind knocked out of him. But Jared Harrell is first, the sophomore, the 6-foot sophomore, with his first catch of the season. Jason Negro emptying out the bench as far as receivers go. 1st and 10, Bosco at the Margarita 34 as it's a pass once again. That's Jared Harrell on the reception, and he has himself about 5 yards. Rosen bulleting it over that time. I think we've seen Shea Fields and Jaleel Wadoud's duties come to an end here tonight. Up 49-12 in the 3rd quarter.
In the 3rd quarter, they're relieving the big-time starters. That is a statement.
The handoff this time is going to go to Clifford Sims. Clifford Sims had a hole, but it got closed up, not after he picked up the first down. Inside the 20, so what's new? Bosco has been living in Santa Margarita's red zone, it seems like, here tonight. And once again, Sims on the carry for the Braves.
Funny, Sims is their backup.
Backup. Their third string.
Their third string.
They'll go with Sims again. Sims has a hole. There goes Clifford Sims, and he's tackled hard inside the 10-yard line. A first and goal upcoming. St. John Bosco. 6:37 here left to go, third quarter. 49-12 the Braves lead, and it just continues to keep getting uglier. Margarita's defense has no answer to this Bosco offense. The screen pass is going to go to Harrell. Harrell is spun down at the 6. Second and goal upcoming for Bosco.
Like going back to that Clifford Sims sort of thing, being the third string backup, he's in the top 20 for Trinity leagues, and he is a third stringer. Yeah, that is ridiculous to see.
Ball's at the 6. They're going to keep it with Rosen, and he has his 4th rushing touchdown of the night. It's too easy. Touchdown Braves. I have never seen a Trinity League dominant. I've never seen a Trinity League game where one team has absolutely dominated the other one like Bosco is doing to Margarita here tonight. It's 55-12 with 5:56 left to go in the third quarter.
It's still the third quarter. It's been a long game. It's been a long night.
National TV, Jason Negro doesn't care. Budrovic's extra point up and good. Jeez Louise. Oh my goodness. 56-12. 5:56 left to go in the third quarter. Can we get that clock running, please?
Yes, definitely. And you can see Andrew Kadnick's down there warming up his arm right now. Probably going to see him pretty soon.
Josh Rosen, 4 rushing touchdowns tonight. That's his record.
Yeah.
That's what, he had 2 coming into the game?
Yes.
Now he has 6 on the season? Sheesh. Josh Rosen, he wants to be a dual threat quarterback. He wants to be.
He does. He most definitely does want to be a dual threat quarterback.
So with Bosco leading here 56-12, we're going to step aside for a second. You're listening to St. John Bosco Radio on Spreaker.com, an affiliate of National Sports.
Who is the team to beat in the National Football League as we begin preseason action? NFL insider Robert Dieters is up next on National Sports. The story of the 2013 Major League season has been the resurgence of the Dodgers, led by Yasiel Puig. How realistic of a shot does Los Angeles have at making the World Series? Jason Gerline leads the roundup next on National Sports. Your presentation of National Sports is brought to you by Spreaker.com. Broadcast and listen to news, radio, and music with one low monthly rate. Your show will be right back after this word from your local stations. You can contact National Sports in a number of ways, through Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter with the label National Sports. We love to have you guys a part of our show and can easily join us also through text or call. You're listening to the National Sports radio station on Spreaker.com.
Chris Sylvester, Adam Ferrister, and the SJB broadcast crew back to you here. Saddleback College, it's 56-12. St. John Bosco leading with 5:56 here left to go in the third quarter. Score updates around the Trinity League while they're probably bored of hearing St. John Bosco score. Orange Lutheran looks like they have it wrapped up against J. Sarah at home. 29-13, the Lancers lead the Lions with 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. And out in Anaheim, it's Mater Dei 28, Servite 14 from Angel Stadium. That game is in the third quarter as well. 2 minutes to go in the third quarter there. So those games, certainly more of a contest than we have here tonight. 56-12, Bosco leading the Eagles of Santa Margarita. 5:56 left to go in the third quarter. I'd like to remind you, as Reed Budrovich kicks this one into the end zone for a touchback. We'd like to remind you that tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Tam's Pizzeria. Tam's Pizza, Wings, Burgers, and more. They have it all. Say Braves number 1 and receive $2 off any specialty pizza. That's right, say Braves number 1 and receive $2 off any specialty pizza. Tam's Pizzeria, located in Bellflower on the corner of Rosecrans and Bellflower. Tam's Pizzeria, we have it all. Say Braves number 1 and receive $2 off any specialty pizza. Well, KJ Costello and the Santa Margarita offense will come out and take the field at their own 20, a familiar spot tonight after all the touchbacks off the leg from Budrovich. There'll be a quick handoff, this time to McNichols, and he's gobbled up at the line by that St. John Bosco defensive line led by the Washington State commit Chandler Lanou coming in from the Mike linebacker spot. And that one will go for a gain of about a half a yard that time. McNichols not able to get much against that brick wall we call the St. John Bosco D-line.
Lanou is another special guy who leads the Trinity League in tackles.
Back to pass is Costello. It's a quick pass out to number 2, Jonathan Labani, but he's tripped up after just a gain of 1. Third down, and about 8 coming up for Santa Margarita.
Holland on the tackle for the Braves, along with Hawkins, number 21.
Under 5 minutes here left to go, only the third quarter. 56-12, Bosco leading the Eagles. As under center comes Costello. He'll go back to pass. He's looking over the middle, and he finds Kyle Sweet. Kyle Sweet making moves, gets to the outside, and he's out of bounds at the 45. So haven't seen too much of the Trinity League's leading receiver tonight, but we see a big hookup from sophomore to junior on that play. Kyle Sweet picking up a much-needed first down for Santa Margarita to give that defense of the Eagles a little bit longer to rest on the sidelines.
I think we thought that that's what it was going to be like all game, but it turned out that that's what happens when you are up 56-12.
This time, the Utah commit McNichols is stunned back by Ivan Martinez. Loss of 4 on the play.
Along with Lanou.
And that'll bring up a 2nd and 14. I mean, it's crazy to see this defensive line of St. John Bosco spin back a Division I bound player like that and just make it look so easy.
Really is.
Under center comes KJ. KJ out of the pocket, throws, and it's incomplete. Great coverage that time, as a flag, though, flying in late, as I believe Nigel Hale hit number 16, Jeffrey Ambayan, out of bounds.
I think that it'll be called for another helmet-to-helmet contact on Nigel Hale, or something along those lines.
Well, it is a personal foul against Bosco, so give Margarita 15 yards and a first down. That'll move the ball into Bosco territory to the 46. Despite that penalty right there, though, Bosco, since the beginning of the first quarter, has done a great job at cleaning up personal foul penalties like that one.
Yeah, they started off early getting a lot of penalties, but they haven't committed too many in this half.
Under center comes Costello, and he'll hand off quickly. Getting 2 yards that time was number 25, Matthew Mark.
By number 91, Martinez.
Ivan Martinez on the stop for the Braves. Gain of 2 that time. Ball's inside the 44 of Bosco now for Costello and the Eagles. Under center he comes. He'll pitch it outside. McNichols has a hole. McNichols inside the 40 and is taken down at the 38. Really physical between the defensive line and offensive line of Bosco and Margarita despite the score.
Yeah, it has been a very physical game. Margarita's played very physical football. They just haven't been able to get the points on the board. This 12:56, it isn't fully Bosco bullying Margarita. It's just that Margarita hasn't been able to finish drives.
3rd and 3. They'll pitch it again. Mark getting to the outside, and Mark appears like he has the ball spot of the first down, and I believe they will give it to him. He's got that extra push. Was originally gobbled up in the backfield by Malik Dorton, but escaped the ankle tackle and got himself a first down for Margarita at the Bosco 36. So for the first time in a while, we're seeing Margarita's offense put together a little bit of a drive down the field here. Under 3 minutes left to go. Braves blowing out the Eagles 56-12.
Jeremy's up tight. Oh, what? Back out, back out. Back out.
Two back set here for Margarita. It's a quick handoff to McNichols as he pounds his way forward for a gain of 5. Getting to the 30 that time was the Utah commit. I mean, we've seen McNichols carry decently tonight for Santa Margarita, but do you think this kid has a chance to make an impact at the next level?
Yes, he does. He does have an impact, but it's just Santa Margarita doesn't have the offensive talent to stop this Braves defensive line. It's a very, very impressive defensive line, and so that's why he's not able to get the same rushing yards you usually think.
This time it's a reverse. Kyle Sweets on the carry. Kyle Sweets upended by Jaleel Wadood after a gain of 2. That was a reverse play that probably should have gone to the end zone, but the speed of the Cal commit that time is upending Kyle Sweets, and Margarita doesn't even get a first down.
No, that was a great open field tackle by Jaleel. Yep. I think he only got, what was it, about 1 yard on that? It looked like it was going all the way.
Bosco not caught off guards whatsoever by that reverse from Margarita. As Costello's back to pass, now he'll tuck it and run. He has the first down, and he's down at the 25. All he needed was the 26, so give Margarita another set of downs.
Something impressive that I saw on that was that they haven't mentally made mistakes. They could have mentally easily just they could have given up on that and said, oh, he's going to go to the end zone. But Jaleel Wadood pushed and made that open field tackle. They definitely haven't let up, even though they're up 56-12.
And that's the main reason why they're up 56-12. They have not let up. I mean, most of the starters on the defensive end still in for St. John Bosco here. Costello's going to pitch it. McNichols gets the handoff, and McNichols pushes forward to the 15. Chandler Purdue, the Washington State commit, brought him down. What a good gain that time from the Utah commit, Jeremy McNichols. Future Pac-12 members right there.
Yep, future Pac-12 members. Maybe seeing each other at the next level.
Let me tell you, Southern California for the Pac-12 is nothing short of a recruiting hotbed, as the quick handoff will go to Matthew Mark. He'll have enough for the first down to the 13-yard line. So Margarita in the red zone here.
It really is, like what you were saying, a recruiting hotbed, because a lot of these guys want to have their families see them. So even if they do go out of seat, they'll play some of these California teams, and their families will be able to watch them. So that's a big plus for a lot of these football players.
1st and 10 from the 13 for Margarita. It'll be that pitch again to Jeremy McNichols, and he's tripped up at the 10, gain of 3 that time. And that looks like it'll be the final play of the third quarter as the clock continues to run down. And sure enough, it will be, as the ticks go to 0 here for the third quarter. And after 3 quarters from Saddleback College, St. John Bosco putting on a show in front of a national crowd. They lead 56-12 with 1 quarter left from Saddleback College. You're listening to the St. John Bosco radio broadcast in association with Spreaker.com and National Sports.
The proud home of You're listening to the national sports station on Spreaker.com, the proud home of St. John Bosco football. Go Braves!
Back here at Saddleback College, fourth quarter action. St. John Bosco 56, Santa Margarita 12. And yes, you heard me right, Santa Margarita trailing Bosco 56-12 here at home. It's their homecoming game, and really hasn't, it's been more of a homecoming for St. John Bosco.
It really has. These fans over here are fired up and took the life out of that homecoming joy.
I mean, they took the life out of them on the very first play of the game when Sean McGrew had a 66-yard touchdown.
They did. There was a little bit there, but they were able to come back and look like they would have a good game, but it turned out that the Braves would never let up and just took the life out of both the Santa Margarita team and the Santa Margarita crowd.
To their credit, the majority of the Santa Margarita crowd has stuck around to watch this blowout. St. John Bosco has put together here tonight as we're just about ready for the first play of the fourth quarter as our good friend with the red hat steps off the field, which signals that commercial break is over for you national TV watchers. Margarita will have a 2nd and 6 here from the Bosco 9, knocking on the door for the first time since the first quarter. As the handoff's going to go to McNichols. McNichols is tripped up in the backfield and is ruled down after a loss of about 4 that time. Jason Lucero brought the pressure for the Braves, and a 3rd and long upcoming for Santa Margarita. Please, please, please just keep that clock running. I mean, it's a CIF rule. I think it's up to the coach, though, if he wants to keep it running. And if you know anything about Harry Welsh, he still thinks his team's in the game.
Yeah, he does.
Pitch this time to McNichols. McNichols looked like he was going to pass it, and he does, and it's incomplete. Kyle Sweet was wide open in the back of the end zone, but once again, Bosco in the face of McNichols, forcing that incompletion. And down 56-12, you got to think Margarita's going to go for it here on a 4th down at the 11-yard line of Bosco.
They have nothing to lose. Just try to get some more plays in and get the experience. This is a good experience for Costello. He's able to play against a team that will have a lot of these guys are going to be playing D1 football. A lot of these guys. You have Malik going to USC for one, and you see.
The pass this time on 4th down is to Grant Clancy, but he's short of the 1st down marker, and it's a turnover on downs. St. John Bosco's defense holds once again. I mean, it's gone from kind of bad to ugly to absolutely hideous to can we just get this game over with for Santa Margarita?
Yeah, I think the fans are ready for them to leave it, but to their credit, they are showing support, but I think everyone here wants it to be over. They're ready.
Well, rightfully so. Andrew Catnick, they do keep the clock running now. Andrew Catnick comes into the game for Bosco at quarterback. That 60 looking real as ever, even though Bosco's going to have to drive 94 yards for it. The handoff's going to go. Well, it'll be kept with Catnick that time, and Catnick will get about 6 yards to the outside. I don't know if we can really stop calling Josh Rosen not a mobile quarterback. He had 4 touchdowns here tonight.
He's a mobile quarterback. We've seen that today. I don't think they'll use him as an option more, but he's mobile. We saw that today.
As Clifford Sims gets the handoff here, and he'll have himself a 1st down.
Sims, number 22 on the carry around the left side.
Luxuries, not only at running back, not only at wide receiver, but we saw Andrew Catnick pilot Bosco to a couple of non-league victories
especially that Chandler, Arizona game in which he had a near perfect game there. He was able to turn around Bosco and get a win out of him. That is very impressive.
I mean, it was a game that Bosco was down 28-10 in, and all hope looked gone when Josh Rosen was on the sidelines with ice on his shoulder and pads off, and he got the news that he was not going to come back. All hope was pretty much out the door. Then Andrew Katnick steps in, does a fantastic job, gets Bosco's offense to 51 points for that game. Comes back the next week, beats a tough Loyola team on the road. And, you know, this was a kid who quit football in the off-season. The coaches begged for him to come back for reasons like in the Chandler game and for reasons like in the Loyola game where they really needed him. Does Bosco win the Chandler game without Andrew Katnick? Absolutely not. They get blown out. Does Bosco win the Loyola game without Andrew Katnick? Probably not. I mean, that's how huge this kid is for this team.
He really is. He is something special, and he's playing behind Josh Rosen, which is a premier quarterback. We've said it multiple times, if he was playing somewhere else, he would be a starter.
Very happy that he decided to come back and play football. It's a 2nd and 8 here for Bosco as Katnick's going to keep it himself. Katnick breaking tackles. Katnick across the 50 into Margarita territory, and he's taken down at the 46. Great gain that time from Katnick, 15 yards on the keeper. And another first down for St. John Bosco. The offense flows through as well with Katnick.
Yeah, it really does. We're used to seeing Katnick run. We weren't used to seeing Rosen run, but we know Katnick can definitely do damage with his feet.
Out of the gun comes Andrew. He'll pass it out to number 80, Kalen Franklin, and Franklin is taken down after a gain of 5. Got to kind of look at the roster for some of these names because we don't see him out of the field all too often. Franklin making his first varsity reception of the season.
Number 3, Ryan Andrews for the Eagles.
2nd and 5 here. Bosco at the 40. Gotta love what Chad Johnson's doing. He's not slowing up that offense at all, as that'll be a carry from Michael Ray, the Cathedral transfer, and he'll get himself 4 yards.
Michael Ray on the carry, brought down
Michael Ray making his debut here tonight. He's supposed to be the starter. I think they're just kind of easing him in, and you'll see him in bigger roles as the season rolls along.
And he had a very good impact early on defense. That was very impressive to see him play defense.
Bosco loaded with talent on both sides of the football. Out of the gun, Katnick. He'll hand off to Ray again. Ray spinning out of a tackle inside the 30 and taken down at the 28. So a good game that time from Ray. Other guys activated tonight. You got Zachary Robinson, the offensive lineman who already has Division I offers from USC and UCLA. You got Anselm Ume, the wide receiver who didn't see get targeted tonight, but he's an explosive receiver. Speaking of him, he's moving from right to left here. Ume in the game now. I think they're just really trying to work those transfers in as Sims has himself a first down inside the 25.
They just keep pounding it right down the throat of Santa Margarita.
On the carry, brought down by Aparicio.
I mean, I guess that's what happens when you have a running back that's your 3rd string that's in the top 15 in the Trinity League.
If there's one thing Bosco hasn't let up on, I mean, they still got their starting offensive line in the game, except for Damian Mama. Katnick changes the play at the line. 1st and 10, Bosco at the Margarita 32. Clock under 5 minutes to go here in the 4th as Sims is taken down at the 30 after a gain of 2. Being at Saddleback College for me brings back. I'm sure you've been here before, right, Adam?
Many times
to see Bosco games, but one of the most memorable, actually the best football game, and I'll say, I mean, even in person for sure, and I think best football game I've ever witnessed just watching, whether it's on TV, on the radio, or whatever. The best football game I've ever seen took place here on October 30th, 2010, when the number 1 junior college ranked team, the Mount San Antonio Mounties, came in to play the Saddleback Gauchos. The Gauchos were leading by 4 with 6 seconds left in the game. Nick Lamison of the Mount San Antonio Mounties had the ball at right there on the right on point. I know you can't see because we're doing this on the radio, but They had the ball at the Saddleback 12. Lamison took the took the pass from under center, passed it over the middle. It was incomplete. Flag came in. It was a pass interference. Sure enough, Mount Sac gets another shot. And you know how in college football, junior college football, same thing. You lose one game, you're pretty much out of it for the national championship. With 1 second left, comes under center, fires the fade route to Michael Edwards in the corner, catches it with 1 second left. Sideline erupts. Mount Sac wins and goes on to win the national championship for junior college that year. And I mean, I've never seen a scenario where with 1 second left on the clock, you have just a fade route like that. Your receiver goes back into the end zone. I mean, you really had to be there, but I mean, it was honestly the most remarkable football game I've ever seen, because Mount Sac drove 80 yards in 56 seconds. So, I mean, for me, being back here at Saddleback College brings back some great memories. Meanwhile, Bosco, while I've been blabbering on, got to the 10-yard line, and Michael Ray carries it to the 6. Gain of 4 that time. I like junior college football. Fun to watch. Yeah, fun to watch. Maybe we'll be announcing some junior college football pretty soon.
College football in general is fun to watch.
Alabama needs a new announcer. Under 3 minutes left to go. 2nd and 5 for Bosco, as the handoff will go to Sims, and he's tripped up at the 3. See if Bosco can get into the end zone one final time and put the point total over 60.
Brings down number
I'm sure that's what Burrow wants.
Burrow's always looking for those
the
points.
On the 3-yard line.
It was really fun seeing him all animated trying to get Bosco to 70 points last week. So Bosco taking its time here with the clock running down, and a 3rd and goal from the 3. Flags fly. It'll be a delay of game on Bosco, as they took an eternity to get back out on the field. So 3rd and goal from the 8. It'll be here.
Delay of game. Penalty.
Five-yard penalty will back it up here. 3rd and goal from the 8. 1:40 left to go in the 4th quarter. Bosco leading by too much. 56-12 as Rays gobbled up in the backfield. Loss of 4 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down, and looks like Reed Budrovich is going to come out here and try to attempt a field goal. Meanwhile, just before we're about to end this affair here, 4 minutes left to go in the 4th quarter from Angel Stadium. We got a ball game. Mater Dei 28, Servite 21, and the other game went final between Orange Lutheran and J. Sarah. The Lancers defeating the Lions 29-13. So before the field goal takes place here by Reed Budrovich, we have our little friend with the red hat on come and tell us it's commercial break time from Saddleback College. We'll have the final plays of the 4th quarter here. Coming up next is Bosco is on its way to its first Trinity League win of the season of 56-12 against Santa Margarita.
You're listening to the national sports station on Spreaker.com, the proud home of St. John Bosco football. Go Braves!
Back here at Saddleback College, in Saddleback, California, the home of the Eagles. The Braves have made themselves certainly feel at home here today, up 56-12 with a minute 12 left to go in the ball game. Adam has gone down to the field for his post-game duties, as Reed Budrovich looks to be attempting a kick here. Maybe not. It looks like maybe Bosco just kneel it down here. I think they thought better of it, as Budrovich originally came out, then we had the commercial break. And now Bosco comes out onto the field with their offensive unit. So it looks like they will be going for it here on a 4th and goal from the 10-yard line. Minute 12 left to go. Still waiting for our friend in the red hat to come off the field to indicate that the commercial break is over. It's the only problem with these nationally televised games. But what a performance put on by St. John Bosco here tonight, 56-12. Margarita, I'd say, is going to have a hard week of practice, knowing how Harry Welsh coaches. They take on Servite at Cerritos College next week, as Katnick will line up in victory formation, take a knee. That'll be a turnover on downs, but the clock is just going to keep running here with the CIF rule. If the lead's over 40, the clock is supposed to keep running if the coach agrees. So I don't think another play is going to be run here, as the clock will keep running under 50 seconds now. And Costello and the Margarita offense is going to come out onto the field here. He'll come under center and he'll just hand off to McNichols, and McNichols is taken down after a gain of 3, and that will likely be the final game and the final run of the game here tonight. It's been a long one for Santa Margarita, as St. John Bosco looks as strong as ever in their first Trinity League game, as the clock runs to 5, to 4, to 3, to 2, to 1. The St. John Bosco Braves have come in to Saddleback College and blown out the Santa Margarita Eagles 56-12 on national television.
At the Holy Trinity Catholic Church.
The Trinity League opener between Bosco and Margarita goes absolutely just not what we thought. I mean, we thought this would be a close game. We legitimately thought this would be, if Bosco wins, you know, they could win by 14 to 21 points maybe, but a 56-12 final score wasn't even in the question. But somehow Jason Negro coached this team up this week, and St. John Bosco, for the second consecutive week, just putting on a show after beating Crenshaw 75-35 last week. They come out here in their Trinity League opener and win 56-12 today. And I can guarantee you, if these two teams don't meet in the playoffs, Santa Margarita just saw the best team it's going to see all season long in St. John Bosco, who, if you have doubted their #1 ranking before, you shall no longer doubt after this drubbing against their foes, the Santa Margarita Eagles. Final score 56-12, Saddleback College. When we get back, we will wrap up the broadcast for you and hopefully get a player or two from St. John Bosco up here. The final score, Bosco 56, the Eagles 12 from Saddleback College in the Trinity League opener. Bosco moves to 6-0 on the season. Santa Margarita falls to 3-3.
You're listening to the national sports station on Spreaker.com, the proud home of St. John Bosco football. Go Braves! You're listening to the national sports station on Spreaker.com, the proud home of St. John Bosco football. Go Braves!
Back here at Saddleback College, reminder of the final score tonight, St. John Bosco in a rout, beating Santa Margarita 56-12. They're down saying the alma mater right now with some of the students that traveled out to Saddleback to support, as well as all the fans. St. John Bosco, like usual, traveling out a spectacular crowd here tonight. And what a show these Braves put on for their fans. 56-12 the final tonight. Josh Rosen, 4 rushing touchdowns. Sean McGrew had himself a couple rushing touchdowns as well. But I don't think we've ever seen a performance like this in Trinity League play, certainly, between these teams. So St. John Bosco moves to 1-0 in Trinity League play as that alma mater plays. Coaching staff obviously very happy. It's going to be a fun trip back to Bellflower for the St. John Bosco Braves, who look, like I said, as strong as ever with this 56-12 victory over Santa Margarita. What a job Jason Negro has done with this program just in the last couple of seasons. We have not seen St. John Bosco do this ever in any league that they've been in, but yet alone to do this in Trinity League play is something really, really special and just something absolutely remarkable. 3 years ago, this program was nearly a disaster, a team that went 1-4 in Trinity League play. They cleaned it up the next year, and then last year won Trinity League. This year they look like they're on the way to doing that again after this blowout victory over the Santa Margarita Eagles. So they're huddled up out there. Hopefully Adam can bring up the goods, get us one of these players for St. John Bosco. As we're still waiting.
Oh no, he has a different time.
Of course, the team always huddling up after the game like they usually do. So we'll just continue to wait here as Adam is down on the field trying to get us one of those players. Hopefully Shea Fields. He hasn't been here in a while. I know it's a nationally televised game, and they're going to have their interviews themselves, this Fox Sports, but certainly the old TV station got to get some interviews as well, you'd have to think. Well, now the team's about to break it out, and hopefully we're going to get ourselves an interview here with Sean McGrew or Shea Fields. I know Josh Rosen's probably going to get interviewed on the big screen, so probably won't be able to get him right now, but see what we can do. See who Adam's going to bring up. Interesting thing here at Saddleback. I feel like the press box is so far away from the field because you have to walk up this dirt road to get here. Very interesting setup, but it will not be the last time we'll be here this year. Bosco takes on J. Sarah later this year here at Saddleback College. So, might as well make this thing our home. As, of course, we had our man Daryl Sutton doing the game tonight for Fox Sports. As we certainly appreciate that. We'll go to commercial and then we'll be back with our player interview.
You're listening to the national sports station on Spreaker.com, the proud home of St. John Bosco football. Go Braves!
Back here at Saddleback College, as we just got word that Sean McGrew will be coming up here with Adam Ferrister in just a second for the post-game interview. It's been a while since we've had a post-game interview. I know Shea Fields is always busy with those reporters down on the field, so can't blame our man Shea for that. We'll try to get a midweek report with Fields and maybe somehow, I don't know, factor that into the next broadcast, maybe put it on the website or something along the lines of that. But like I said, we're getting Sean McGrew here in just a second. It's crazy how far, though, like I was saying before, how far the St. John Bosco program has come, and I mean it's all coming to fruition here as Bosco really just it's just showing why they are the #1 team. And, I mean, they deserve every bit of the hype they've been getting all season long, especially tonight. 56-12. They beat Santa Margarita here at Saddleback College. What a show put on by St. John Bosco. What a show. I can't say enough about the effort that each and every one of these players put in tonight. It was quite the affair. Quite the affair. I'm sure Shay or Sean and Adam trying to find their way up here. It's pretty tricky getting up here. Here they come, coming around the corner. Sean McGrew, quite a night on the ground. The sophomore, 2 touchdowns tonight. We're about to hear his thoughts on his performance and the game, I'm sure, right about now. So here he is coming up right now. Bosco 56, Santa Margarita 12. I get surprised every time I say that, but it's reality is. Gotta get you, man. Alright, now we bring in Sean McGrew, running back, starting running back, I guess we can say, right? He started at running back tonight. First play, he took it 66 yards to the house. Next play, you take it in from, what, 15 yards out? I mean, you played outstanding tonight. 2 touchdowns. Tell us about how the offensive line made those holes for you and how you were able to cut down the field like that.
The first play was just a outside run, just following my blockers, and there was a big hole. I just had to make a move on the outside linebacker on that side, and after that there was just no one there. And on the second play, 2 of our linemen were pulling. I was just following my blockers, and just gotta give all the credit to my linemen. Without them, I wouldn't be able to do anything. I
mean, you're only a sophomore. Are you surprised at the job you're doing this year? Because I don't really think anybody expected you to just burst onto the scene like this and make this kind of an impact this early in the season.
I mean, I wasn't really expecting it either. I mean, I was kind of nervous tonight. It was my first Trinity League varsity game, and I just gotta get all the credit to my linemen, because without them, I wouldn't be able to do anything.
The game was on national TV tonight. How did that feel, knowing that you ran one in from 66 yards out in front of thousands of people out there watching?
I mean, before the game, I was probably the most nervous kid on the team. I couldn't even explain it. I had so much butterflies, and after that play, it just felt so good to just see that hole and burst through it.
You guys are 1-0 in Trinity League play now after this 56-12 victory over Santa Margarita. Play Orange Lutheran at home next week. What do you know about their defense and how you're going to try to operate around them?
We don't really know much about their defense, but we know that they have the triple option offense, and that they take a lot of time off the clock. So with our offensive possessions, we need to be really. We just need to do our thing. We just need to score on every possession we get. Real
quickly before we let you go here, I know you're only a sophomore, but how's the college recruiting process coming along? I mean, you get any looks at the next level? I mean, come on. I mean, you're killing Trinity League competition.
I mean, I haven't got any attention yet. Just gonna keep doing my thing, and hopefully I'll get some colleges sending me letters, and I'll talk to some coaches. But other than that, I haven't really got any attention yet. So.
All right, Sean McGrew, thank you very much for coming all the way up here for this little interview tonight on Spreaker.com National Sports. Thanks a lot for joining us tonight. Great job.
Thanks.
That was Sean McGrew, starting running back for St. John Bosco. Just a sophomore, already stunting on it. Well, that'll do it here from Saddleback College. For Adam Ferrister, for Sean McGrew, for Burl Lee, our stat man. My name is Chris Sylvester, reminding you the final score tonight: Bosco 56, Santa Margarita 12. Have a safe and blessed weekend, every single one of you.